Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live. We might be loud. We'll see how it goes, guys. It feels like me and Harry were kind of, batting around there. How do we kick this off exactly? Because there's a lot going on. There's a lot swirling around, all the permutations and all the outcomes and all the discussions and opinions and rights and wrongs and who said this and who did that and cartwheels and everything else in between. But ultimately, when we zoom out for a wee moment, this is the final weekend of what we know. So, for the duration of the majority of the stream, that's how we're going to proceed as normal. We're going to have a final hurrah, as it were, on the normal kind of jiggery-pokery of all the deadline show as we do it. And as Harry was saying to me, but normally by the time we get to the end of the stream, it's a live chat, it's the comments from you guys as we get closer to the deadline. So we'll maybe chew the fat a little bit towards the end and we'll get stuck into some stuff. But we hope you're tuning into the show today, of course, for all that juicy deadline action. Of course, I am Quinny and I'm very late in getting to this, but I'm joined as ever by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm kicking. I feel like I haven't stopped recording over the last couple of days. So yeah, this is going to be a nice little break before the weekend, I guess, and some football action, mate. I think we all need it, don't we? For sure. And like you said, it does feel like the last dance in some ways. With obviously big changes, upon the horizon, and let's just enjoy it while we can, isn't it? We're like, what can we really do right now other than just live in the moment, right? So
that's it. You've been on fire, Harry boy, and I must say I've been consuming I think every piece of Sorare content as normally, but like it's been relentless over the last 36 hours. The only thing I'm yet to catch up on, but it just dropped like an hour ago or so. Sorare Ramble with Nicholas, Guy, and Dan with SR Monkey here. So good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us. So look forward to catching that after the deadline show. If you haven't caught it yourself, at Sorare Ramble on Twitter and socials, you'll be able to find it. Easy peasy. But good to see everyone joining us. And it has been one of those ones, Harry, like when it first came out, obviously I was on the show with you where we were meant to be unboxing it together and going through it all, but I had to run away and do the school run, go get the kids. Unfortunately, so I was kind of listening in the cars. I was scooting around Glasgow, getting back to home turf and then getting down to the school run with the dog, getting the kids, and then coming back. And like it was a mammoth stream, mate. Well done to you and everyone else that joined in. It was one for the record books. And it's good to have you back here as a co-pilot back. I rather enjoyed being the co-pilot, as brief as it was, over at your gaff. And it's been a long couple of days, hasn't it? It feels like a week, hasn't it? It's been by in the last 36 hours or whatever it's been. But
it's weird. It's like been like a time warp in some ways. Like we're just there's content flying out from everywhere, and I think my girlfriend messaged me last night. She was like, "So it's trending on Twitter." I know it has been for a little while or whatever, but like it was like really trending because obviously she's not in this country, so it was a bit like, well, I don't know. It just felt a bit strange her saying that to me, and I don't know. Obviously. Yeah, man, there's big things happening, and we just got to sort of keep rocking and rolling, and look forward to this next sort of 2 hours. I hope that brings us fair bit of joy on a Friday afternoon.
That's it. And I think I speak for all Sorare scouts and managers around the world, and thanks to all the heroes and legends that are joining us live and loud across all the social media platforms that we're on, wherever you're at, YouTube, Twitter, all the good stuff. Please make sure to like, retweet, share, get involved in the live chat, let whatever social media platform we're on know that you're having a good time here and we're kicking ass and taking names. But I think, like everyone else, Harry, when they were done listening to the live stream with yourself, the first thing everyone did is they went and deleted all of their teams for the weekend. And maybe what's the word? Like kind of just like, I'll deal with this later. I can't even think about players and teams and all the rest of it. So I think without any further ado, we've been live for a couple of minutes now. Thanks to everyone that has joined us. Get the fist bumps in. Let us know what you're thinking coming into this game week. Are you taking any kind of new steps strategy-wise starting this weekend? Or are you with me and Harry and we're just rolling with the good times for this weekend in the old school way that we know and love? Let us know in the live chat. But we start with the matchups tab here, Harry boy, and it is full of the good and the great of world football.
Yeah, not much diversity up there, is it, at the top? Two big challenger teams occupying top positions, both obviously Eredivisie. Interesting, like it's just weird to see one away fixture in that whole list of fixtures, because like it just shows that obviously one, PSV are very good, but two, how bad Volland that must be to have the best fixture away from home, in the whole whole of the world technically from what we can see on Sorare data. So yeah, big huge matchups in Challenger. Even though like Feyenoord, I think we mentioned it with Laird yesterday, but like they're pretty depleted right now. But obviously we can start with PSV, I guess. I think I've seen rumors that big Joey Veerman might be making an appearance this weekend.
I'm a wee bit behind the 8 ball here. Sorry, 2 seconds, Harry. To go get the team loaded up. I'm also now the service the stream now provides, Harry, is ad blocker because I don't know if you've been on Play Sharper recently, but they're getting paid. They're getting their ad money in. so I'll be screening all that for you guys. You don't need to go through the pain of it, but we've got through it. And this looks to be the Volendam team. If any are interested in any of these guys, and the PSV team, looks like Veerman is back, 70% on.
Yeah, that's big for them. That's huge. I think, they've really missed him over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously a good fixture. But Maro Jr. is a fun one coming back into that side. I think Dest is actually out for a couple of weeks, maybe. With I can't remember what it was. Might have been a hamstring or groin. But yeah, it looks like Maro Jr. is managed to work his way back to full fitness, and he played last weekend against whoever PSV played and looked good. I only think he played like 60 minutes. But yeah, great fixture for them, albeit away from home. And I'm expecting some big scores from, the usual suspects.
I think Veerman's transformative for that kind of team. We've seen that when he was out the team. They just, some of the SO5 scores, the L5s kind of dipped a little bit. And so I think he's a real kind of activator, as it were, for this team. So him coming back kind of brings the stacks back to the leaderboard as well, as probably brings some of the scores back, maybe for some of those individual cards, even if you weren't to have the full stack. And then I heard you double checking your geography on this one not too long ago. It is the derby in Rotterdam, of course. It's Feyenoord at home to Sparta. Sparta, the last couple of seasons, have been like a top half Eredivisie team. They've been punchy, they've been feisty, they've had some good players, had a good manager, I think, who moved on to another job somewhere. I forget where now, maybe Ajax or something at the time. But this is how they look to line up at home, Feyenoord, and it's pretty much, except for the Negen Coop guy, a bit of a starter of the team, isn't it? And a defender, in fact. Yeah,
no Timber is the biggest one for me, obviously. He's, was concussed, so they've got like 3 missing. Captain, Trauner, Timber, and then, they've got that, how do you say that guy's name at the top? Niku?
Niku,
yeah. I'm pretty sure he's a right back, though. But obviously they're playing him a bit higher.
He's down here as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like a centre-back, right back. But, I mean, it is weakened, but does that play into things? Yeah, you'd argue it has to. But I don't know. Sparta team look like they've got that Saito back, who hasn't played
Japanese Messi.
So that might help them. But it's always tough, any team going away to Feyenoord. But like you said, derby game, anything can happen in those types of fixtures.
Nick College is a good AA-based goalkeeper as well. So, this could definitely be a fun one. And the Eredivisie, Jesus, an ad to look at the league table? Come on, Play Sharper. Come on, man. You're better than that. Come on. We're in the tab. Give a chance, man. Come on. So it is a big one for Feyenoord if they're going to keep any sort of pressure on PSV and keep any sort of distance away from 20 here. And Sparta for themselves, 26 points. This is really valuable for them as well. Getting to those playoffs for European spots. So, it'll be a feisty derby, that one for sure. Not Feyenoord up here in second. Are they a wee bit of a false position, do we think? Or what? Are we overselling the derby aspect?
Maybe, you could argue that, I think. There's definitely merit in that. I don't watch Sparta too much, but just with going off their injuries, they're definitely weakened. So I can buy into that. Definitely. Maybe they shouldn't be as high compared to like maybe a Liverpool at home to Burnley, right? Which obviously we're going to get into now. I know we're going to be biased. We probably follow that league more than we do like the Eredivisie just in general. And that feels like the fixture, right? That has to be the fixture of the weekend.
It does feel like a good one, doesn't it? Yeah. Robbo's back in town. This Kwanzaa's making a name for himself. I was about to say full strength defence finally, but obviously maybe not quite on paper. But this Kwanzaa, let's say L5 or 6 days, no slump. Mm-hmm. Midfield is fun as well, isn't it? Jones and Elliott.
Yeah, it's dynamic. it's got a bit about it. Obviously, probably lacking a bit of height in there, I would say, compared to like your Sander Bergs, who was like 9'9", and
That's just three wee guys, isn't it? Leonard
yeah,
Jones
but
isn't wee, but the other two are
yeah,
definitely.
exactly. Yeah, Curtis is not big, but he's not small. But yeah, you're right. But at the end of the day, football, for Liverpool, is probably played on the ground most of the time. And yeah, I don't think maybe that didn't come into it too much, apart from like duels and whatever. But yeah, this Liverpool team, I still think's got far too much about it to not, smash Burnley, who, have obviously been struggling, but Liverpool just come off a big defeat, away to Arsenal, and mistakes from your Van Dijks and Alissons or whatever. Like it is going to be one of them where like back at Anfield, like we need to win this by a couple. Let's regain some sort of momentum again and kick on. We're not on about I said the midfield three, Frenzy.
Raul reckons in his comment here, certainly anyway, that Robertson won't start, but he's now telling us Gomez not in training. I think I've went with Robbo. He's come off the bench 2 games in a row, but it's been Arsenal and Chelsea, so a bit of an ease back. I thought, home at Burnley, it's a great game to start Robbo and get him back in the deep end. So that was my hunch. And then when I seen 60% on this, I thought, yeah, okay, well, if they think it, I think it. And I used that to go with it. So yeah, any insight, feel free to help me. Do we really think Elliott starts over Endo? Gravenberch is maybe the alternative here, but I think Endo is a bit of an unsung hero. I think the manager was giving him some praise recently, and yeah, seeing him on the alternates list here at home at Burnley, it is maybe hard to imagine that Liverpool are top. And Jesus Christ, come on, play sharper.
Maybe go over. Maybe just have Sofa score up on another app.
Fair. Okay, we'll maybe do a bit of juggling then. But sitting top of the table, only 2 points ahead of City. City do have the game in hand. So, do they go out to... Endo's going to make sure that Burnley maybe don't counter on you. But that's not really the Liverpool winning a title kind of philosophy. It is kill them by 5 goals. If they score 4, who cares? But you better score 5, So I can see this being the lineup in that kind of headspace.
Yeah, I completely agree. Players returning from injury, like you said, Robbo and stuff, if they are deemed to play. I know Raul doesn't seem to think he will, but yeah, there's definitely a 4-0 in there somewhere, I think. And with the Premier League comp now being, a permanent fixture, I think that definitely, you could definitely see some Liverpool cards flying high this weekend.
See, with the regards to that, Liverpool being the most minted Premier League team.
Okay,
thoughts on that, just as a general element? Good choice for a club to back.
For the Premier League, or you mean
just in general? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you need the new season cards for the new Prem, but yeah, I think in general, it's not bad. It can't be a bad thing, can it? For collections, and if you want to build, optimally, you want the new season, but they're going to cost a lot more, I assume, than the older season Liverpool cards. But I've been seeing Liverpool matter. Like you can buy the fringe, like the cards that probably won't play again, but they're still part of collections for like 10 quid and stuff at rare, which I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? But it feels like we have had Liverpool for so long, haven't we? Really, and Mark's obviously dominated a lot of that over the years, but it's kind of been shared out now, which is interesting. I think it's probably a good thing. But yeah, Dave said Robert could be a 220. Shout, yeah, I'm behind.
I think he definitely features. He's come off the bench in the last 2. There's no way he doesn't feature, and I think, you start him in this game, home at Burnley. Maybe he doesn't get the 90, but they definitely need him, so.
I agree.
I don't think it's that questionable, but I'm not an expert on Liverpool, so I'm happy to be. And Harry, you've actually made a bit of a prediction here that's came to pass. We see Archie Gray return to midfield all of a sudden. Connor Roberts comes into defence, and look at Leeds against Rotherham here.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Quinny, to go against what my prediction was, this didn't look like this, if that makes sense, yesterday. I think they had Connor Roberts at 40 behind Gray at right back, and now they've obviously changed it for whatever reason. There might be, injuries and stuff. So, yeah, this looks a bit more like what I kind of thought would happen. Roberts has far too much experience, I would say, at this level to, not play. I don't rate him, but in this type of team, Joe Rodon's his literal best friend. They came through Swansea together. They've been together for probably since they were 5 or 6 type of thing. They've been together for years, and Purdue as well, but didn't come through Swansea. But yeah, I think that'll really give him a bit more, just assurance at the back and allow Archie Gray to push on and be a midfielder, because he's their jewel. He's the one that's going to go for £40 million at some point. They ain't going to sell Connor Rob, he's on loan. So it's like, go show what you can do, as an 18-year-old centre midfielder in the Championship. And I think, with strikers like, not strikers, but, attacking players like Somerville, Rutan, and Big Willie and Bamford in front of you, there's always the chance of DAs and just get, you just need a highlight reel in that sense. Like, he could easily get involved in there. And, at home to Rotherham, what more can you ask for? Really?
Not much. And except for an ad. You can ask for an ad.
Except for no ads.
But Rotherham, just for confirmation, are rock bottom. Conceded 54 goals in 29 games. Leeds have scored 52 in 30 games. Leeds at home, 32 and 11 over 15 games. That's an average of basically 2-0, maybe 3-1 on the odd occasion. And Rotherham away is not won all season. Scored 9 goals in 14, conceding 34. This could be a slaughter for sure. I'd be hyped if I was Leeds.
Big time. Yeah, so that might dominate the second div leaderboards quite comfortably. And there's a few under 23s in there as well that could really pop off, especially goalkeeper, obviously Somerville and Willie. So it's definitely going to be interesting for the leaderboards.
Yeah, big time. And I do feel this is a little bit of a false position of sorts. Or is it? I don't know. Obviously, Man City fan, Man City back, like kicking and screaming again. Everyone's talking about, they're amazing and whatever. But is it the top 5 best matchups of the weekend, being at home to Everton for Man City?
It's just hard, isn't it, for bookies not to favour whoever Man City at home, right? Like, it's a lot to go against. There is obviously the way that they play midweek. So, you're going to see these rotations play into it. Like, does a De Bruyne start? I think he probably does. But Everton are no mugs. Like, they're the type of team to go nick a goal or two from a set piece quite comfortably. Like, I don't think this is plain sailing for City. I also think they're going to win the game. I'd be very shocked if Everton managed to hold them out to anything other than a win. But it's just from a Sorare perspective, it's just knowing who plays for City. I know that's always been the case for a while, but this feels a lot more 50-50 than it's ever been over the last couple of months, probably because of Europe, I'm going to assume. Obviously, De Bruyne's back. That definitely plays into it. That's what Frenzy, I kind of have to agree with Frenzy there. It's like Man City at home to anyone wins a top 5 fixture. That is the issue. I know what you mean, though. There's definitely a banana skin somewhere this weekend. There always is. Is this a 2-1, 3-1 City? Probably, because what Edison's like. They don't keep clean sheets. You can tell that by his Hell 15. It's just the nature of kind of how they play. And Everton are the type of team just to nick goals. They might not, they're not going to City to win this game. They just go into disrupt something, whether that's a draw and whether that is just maybe score a couple of goals at the end of the day.
Try and get a wee counter attack as well, maybe if they're lucky. But fair enough. I think it'll be a tough one. It's an early kickoff as well on Saturday, so that'll be right at the beginning of the game week. Mm-hmm. This looks like, before I even zoom into it, this looks like a game that I'll probably be scared to come up against this game week. And it's Fenerbahce at home to Alanya Sport, I want to say that is. Alanya Sport,
Yeah. Mate, Dusty Dusan right now, by the way, as he's being known as he's being called, in the Sorare community.
Ooh,
he's just not doing it. Like, he's missing pens. He's just not it right now. Like, as far as what you kind of expect from a Tadic, and are we now seeing the decline of him? And I think there's definitely an argument for that. You could say that's a bit of short-termism in that sense, but he's not getting any younger, is he? So it's like, and he's never been gifted with, not that he's ever relied on pace, I guess, but it's a competitive league, Turkey. Like, it doesn't matter sometimes. You've still got to, pull your weight. And I don't know, it looks like Szymanski's kind of taken over that, maybe. A bit younger, a bit fresher. But yeah, look at that L5 of like Dzeko. Like, we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago, weren't we? Like, he was on fire.
Yeah.
And like, I know we're just looking at one specific number there, but I'm sure he's scored goals in that L5. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think Fener are looking, I don't know. Like, I look at those cards now, and I'm a bit like, outside of Szymanski and Kadioglu, I don't know, mate. I'm not saying they're not going to go win this game, but like SO5, I don't know.
I really like Soyuncu in that defence. I think he'll be really good in Turkey. I don't know how it'll be in AA terms for a guy like him in a game like this, but L15 of 26, if you've got one of him knocking about, it's good for a clean sheet in this game at the very least, So
100%.
I like the look at him if anyone's holding or looking. Barca Granada. This is a funny one because Barca, like Javi's like, he's seen Klopp doing it and he's like, okay, I'll do that too. And he's like, I'm going to leave at the end of the season because I love the club so much. Everyone's like, what? What?
We wanted him to go now, not the end of the season, mate. Like, come on.
Yeah. But yeah, so Barca won the best games of the weekend, apparently, at home to Granada, I know they're not pulling up mad trees, but their squad is, they've got some players. Zaragoza's away now, isn't he? Yeah. Palistri's in there. My boy Arezzo's finally getting some minutes. They got Hongla in from Italy, Uzune. I don't know. It feels very similar to Man City Everton to me, where it's like, yeah, they probably are going to beat them, but like, is it one of the? That's just what I feel. Is it one of the best games of the weekend?
Does that maybe just show us that like maybe there's just not that many good fixtures this weekend? It could be that rather than this fixture being that good. This fixture is where it is comparatively to the other fixtures. So it's like if there's not that many great fixtures, then it's just gonna get bumped up. I do think though I do think this is a bit better than the City one personally. I think Everton are more of a threat than a Granada would be. I don't watch Granada week in, week out. I know, unfortunately for his sins, Sam Tide does, and I don't know why. But I do think this is, I honestly think this could be like a nice little 3-0 up. Personally, I know Barca haven't been great, but like...
Christensen in midfield, Pedri wide left.
Does that allow, that allows Cancelo to bomb on. That allows Gundogan and Frankie to be like as high as they want to be. I think, I'm not saying that, this is Christensen's the best DM in the world right now, but like, I think there is positives to that. Pedri's way higher where he would be, normally in that middle three. Yamal's he's just like the best player in that league right now. One of easily.
He's on fire.
Just on the last couple of games, he's like, for a 16-year-old, he's doing things with a football that shouldn't be done. Like like we see Savio do some crazy things. Obviously, you got your Vinny's, Bellinghams, but for his age, like this is like scary. This is the making of something absolutely incredible. And yeah, just God forbid. Sorry. I mean, like, yeah, just feel sorry for their sort of who would it be? Their left back, whoever Granada's left back is it? It's never. Of course, it's Sam Ties. Carlos never. I think this is actually coming back to me now. He messaged me in the week saying, I just feel so sorry for Never this weekend. I didn't even say to him like why. It didn't even register. But of course, he's playing against probably the best right wing in the league right now, and he's 16. So yeah, this could end Never's career potentially.
Watch out for that one.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I think Yamal is a difference here. Gundogan's in great form. He's really taken to the whole Barca vibes and all that. But Barca, I know we're saying Cancelo and all the rest of it, but they haven't been that great. They're sitting at the moment third, quite disconnected from the title race. Granada, like I said earlier, they're not been pulling up trees or anything, far from it. They're in a relegation fight, so they're not going to probably put up too much of a fight. But Barca, like, I don't know. It's just when I see it so high on the matchups tab, that's what makes me kind of want to not poo-poo it necessarily, but just think about it a wee bit differently. But Lamal could hit that big forward point score. Not too sure about Lewandowski. And yeah, I suppose it probably is going to be.
He's been a bit better the last 5 games, Quinny. I know we've been saying that it could be the decline of Lawan as well, but he has sort of come back slightly the last couple. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now. But yeah, you'd like to think that AA is coming from Yamal for sure. Another fixture where there's a ton of suspensions and just injuries and everything is this Club Brugge UPenn fixture, which again, I'm not saying it's in a false place because Club Brugge are definitely still set up to beat UPenn, but like there is still some doubts here. Like Disciple went off with like whiplash or something a couple of days ago, and I know he's still at 60 there, but yeah, just no Vanaken. The Lord was sent off last game, I believe. No Thiago, their number 9, so Jutla comes in. So yeah, I'm not like I'm not sold on this, to be completely honest. They've still got your Skov Olsen. There's still some good boys in here that you can probably rely on SO5 wise, but just don't look at this and think, oh, it's Club Brugge, they're going to absolutely smash. Because in my head, I'm thinking they're missing their number 9. Like they're missing the guy that scores all the goals. Like take that out of any team, you're just you're not the same. It's as simple as that.
Jutla was that guy, but
he was last season. He did well. Yeah, I agree. But if you've not done it for a while, it's hard to just come in and start doing it. I think he scored and got an assist midweek in the cup, so he's not like coming out of the blue and just starting again.
Look at the Slonina's picture there. He has aged like 10 years, man.
Chelsea money, mate. The Chelsea move, the Chelsea money.
He has aged big time. Well, I was going to say, Eupen, they quite like conceding goals, I think. Eupen, they're always involved in... Yeah. They're always involved a bit of high-scoring affairs. So, Bruges at home, 49 goals over 24. And where are Eupen sitting at the moment? Oh, second bottom. Yeah. I know what you're saying, but maybe this is... Yeah, still going to rain out probably. Because I say, Jutgler, this is a game, bottom of the table. This is if he's wanting to stake a claim or something like, he should be getting a goal or two. And
yeah,
I seen a nice Twitter post. Somebody was saying about Scott Olsen's form over the last like couple of weeks or something like for scoring goals, maybe in cups and stuff as well, which is not all Sorare related. But so I think there's a bit of form and attack here from what I can gather. I think that De Kuiper's a big part of it, isn't it? If he makes it or not potentially without Vanaken. So yeah. TBC.
This is, I was saying to Led yesterday, this is, I think, the best fixture for me. Not out of everything, but like, I don't know why it's like that low in the sense of like, USG are obviously best team in the league, but also like Westerlo have just been getting pumped by everyone recently. They just lost 3-0 to Leuven last week. So I think Madsen, their main guy, might be out. I think he might be still 50-50 on this predictions, but I think this is the SO5 fixture personally. I really do. Yeah, Madsen's still at 50. I really worry for non-USG cards. In the leaderboards, I really think they could smash here. They've just got so many good SO5 cards that you can get behind. Puteras obviously being the main guy, but like Burgess at McAllister, like the back three can all pull in like massive scores if they want to in a game like this. Clean sheetable, Anthony Morris, and then Castro Montes, because he's easily get 100. Nielsen, Amaura, the striker. There's just a lot of things that could go well here. Charlie said they haven't been bad. Yeah, but last week they got drowned. Yeah, I mean, you're only as good as your last game, Charles, unfortunately.
The Japanese Rolls Royce, Koki Machita's back in town as well. Love to see a bit of that. Koki boy. So yeah, USG probably a pretty good fixture there. But look at those SO5 matchup indicators. Like, I'm not expecting the forward or the goalkeeper that well, are they? It's really maybe there'll be some points in defence in the midfield.
It's probably one of them where like Westerlo don't have that many. Like Laird was explaining it to me, like Westerlo don't have that many shots, so it's one of them where Morris might not get the AA. But if you get the cleanie, you still take it. But that I think that's how that shakes out. It feels like we've been quite. What would we say so far? So how many challenger teams? 1, 2, 3, 4 with Club Brugge, 5 with USG, and now 6, 7 with Hajduk Split and Gala. So 7 out of the top, 12 or whatever, are all challenger. But I don't know. I think there's a few false ones in there that might, slip up potentially. I don't follow Hajduk too much. I have actually bought this Kalinic, the number 9 there. I bought his card because he was like 14 quid and his L15 was stupidly low last week and it still is. So he's in my gallery for a bit. Brekalo coming into this side is absolutely huge. I'd be shocked if he doesn't rip up this league. Like he's a good international player, like for Croatia. Like I know he probably doesn't start in their 11 right now, but like over the years he's played like a lot of minutes for them. This feels like maybe one of those sneaky ones. Croatia gets disregarded, I think, in general. People just don't like go in there to scout, and that's fine. In the sense of, SO5, there is some people that really love it, and that's great for them because there's an edge. This could be one of those weeks maybe where you see the Hajduk boys really, really come up. Yeah.
I really like seeing big Laszlo Kleinheisler back in town after he went to Greece or something like that for a year or something. He used to be really good for Osterlik or whoever it was. Yeah, he was really good. Like, if you look at, I talked Stish into buying his Superwear because he had a cool name. I
love that.
So I mean, this guy's called Laszlo Kleinheisler. How can he not be a good player? And he was good. He was cheap as anything. But he blew X. Now he's back. I don't know if Stish has still got him or not. But Kalinic and Brekalo could be pretty sweet in a game like this. Looking at the standings, if we can. But Hajduk Split are right in the title race. Zagreb are not at the top at the moment. It is Rijeka, but they are top at the moment. But this is every game is a 6-pointer for Hajduk and Rijeka. So playing against this team who conceded 37 goals over 21 games, and away from home, 26 over 11. It's probably a good game for Hajduk.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, challenger again with Gala at home to, is that Istanbul?
Oh, no ads. That was quick.
Okay, we'll take it.
Mussarella's in, Davison Sanchez, Kerem Demirbay, Wilf Zaha, Dries Mertens, who Dries Mertens just rejected some Saudi money to stay in Turkey. I read yesterday or something. Yeah. So good sign for any of the Gala holders. I have a Dries. He's already rejected offer 1. That's cool. And Icardi up top. So yeah, really strong team, isn't it? But it's the opponents maybe a bit tougher.
Probably, yeah. I don't think these are that bad, are they, as far as league standing goes? And I know a couple of those players have half decent SO5 scores, just remembering a couple of their names and stuff. But yeah, this won't be. Yeah, this might not be plain sailing. To be honest, they're ninth, eighth in the league. Okay, mid-table. Yeah, I mean, no scrubs, but you'd still fancy at home. Not even draw. They've won every game, so it's like it's hard to not get behind that, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way, these guys are just normal, like nothing too distinct about them. So yeah, could be good. Gala fans showing up in a big way and strong team. I say, yeah, like, Challenger is tough this week. Looking at all those teams,
it is. But then I also think like anything could win it this weekend. I don't even look at like a PSV stack and think they're just going to walk it. I don't look at a final stack and think they're going to I don't know what is going to win it, and that's not a bad thing, if you know what I'm saying. Like it could be it could be one of those Gator Guy weeks where like there's just 5 players from 5 different matchups, not necessarily at home, and they just you just hit it well, and it all kind of comes together in the right week for you.
Good to see you, Sammy boy. Yeah, I'm thinking that it could be quite an open one, but I think the regions will be maybe quite tough in the one of their final hurrahs, as it were. But one team that could just win it all is Southampton at home to Huddersfield. We've got here, and looking at the team in L5s and 15s, and wrong button. It's this button we want. There we go. This is not really too many bad players here, is there? You can pick from for a stack.
No, you can kind of do whatever you like here. Like look at that back 4. I know Sam's buzzing with this in the chat. Obviously, there's no Ryan Manning cards, which is obviously annoying, having the best L5 out of the back 4. But there's a lot to look at here, isn't there, for an SO5 perspective? Like a Che Adams is still at an L15 of 45, for example. So perfect for your cap modes. I know he's not going to get you tons of AA realistically as like a number 9, but in this type of team and this type of fixture, there's definitely goals on the table, right? Obviously, Ryan Fraser, Adam Armstrong's been immense. Midfield 3 as well has been exceptionally well. No Will Smallbone cards. But Huddersfield, I mean, they're obviously down there struggling, and I just can't see anything really but a Southampton win. But as we know, I am a Bazunu owner till I die, and you just know they're going to concede somewhere, probably in the second half. And I'm going to say between the 70th and 90th or 90 plus minutes. So that is my predictions, unfortunately. Sam,
2 wins out of 15 on the road for Huddersfield.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the third away to Southampton, if I'm being honest. I think Southampton in a really good groove right now. It's a 5-0 win, Harry. I hope so, Sam. I really do, mate. Like I really want it to be that. Like I do. So yeah, we'll see how it all pans out.
I think Leeds and Southampton are potentially 2 of the best games we've got this weekend, really. Like out of everyone we've looked at. Like,
genuinely.
I'd be rubbing my hands together, I think, if I had a bit of a hybrid of that on the go.
Completely agree with you. Genuinely. I think, like those 2 obviously are the best 2 second division fixtures. So they are the best 2 fixtures. But even if we look at it from a global perspective, they're obviously up there. And why not? Why can't they really do it this weekend?
Hat 90, thanks for joining us on Twitter, my man.
Oh, nice.
And the next one we've got here, I'm quite surprised to see this in the top order, but Gattuso has been getting some plaudits recently, and it's Marseille at home to Metz. Team is as follows on screen, if any have got these guys. Oh my God, look at that. Mellon on the left, Klaus on the right. That's not allowed, isn't it? That's not allowed.
That feels really fun. We've got Big Head Harry in midfield. No shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah. Harry and then Sar as well. This team is I might tune into this. 8 o'clock tonight.
A good team. Yeah.
This could be mad. This could be mad.
I don't want to put like a down on things, but didn't they just lose to Lyon, or am I just imagining that? I feel like they just lost. I'm pretty sure Lyon played Marseille last game. I think it was away for Marseille. I'm gonna just check up on this because it was a rivals
game. I forgot.
Yeah, and like Cherky didn't play or something like that. Let me have a look. Yeah, they beat them 1-0 to be fair, so it wasn't like a romping or anything. But yeah, a lot of these players are coming up on matchup tabs as like triple A's, like Beraldi, the Balderi, sorry, the centre back. Like he's like a triple A matchup this weekend, or was when I looked last night. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's more like Mets aren't good at all. Maybe I'm not saying Marseille aren't great, but like, you know, yeah, this could be fun for a little Friday night action, definitely.
Yeah, I really like Harit and Sar, both been on 44. Both those guys love dribbling, love take-ons, love putting balls into the box. Two real AA capable guys, you know. So if they get a decisive or two on top, like the two of them could really punch a huge score each, you know. And the defense are covered in it as well, you know. So Marseille could be a lot of fun this game week, maybe going forward if this whole Mel and Klaus thing kind of works out the way you would want it to. So yeah, good fun for Marseille fans this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And then Juve at home to Udinese. What do we think about that?
I think I seen that they're trying to give a Weston McKennie contract extension on the go at the moment. Juve. Okay. So that's the last thing I've seen. And I also seen a funny wee post today talking about how much money managers have spent in their career. Like Guardiola was at the top with like 4 billion or something. But like Allegri was in the top 5 with like 1.5 billion or something. Wow. And I thought, how much of that was Pogba or whatever, you know? Or, you know. But anyways, this is a team. It's not that great a Juve team, I don't think. It really, every time I look at Juve and it's not Chiesa Vlahovic, I'm always like, huh? Why not? Like, it's one of them.
Where is Vlahovic? Is he in? Oh, wow, he's not injured.
It's always one of them, but it's always like Yildiz and Vlahovic, or it's Chiesa and Milik. It's weird. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a bit of injury that's played into this, but it never seems that often we see Chiesa Vlahovic.
No, it's not, to be honest. I can't remember the last time I saw Chiesa, if I'm being like brutally honest about it. Yeah. You know, Vlahovic has been quite good recently, so I'm quite surprised why he's not there. If anyone in the chat can let me know, is he like a doubt as far as injuries go? I don't know. But yeah, is there many L15s you can get, L5s at least, you can get behind there? Really? Locatelli, maybe. Just as far as what he's done. Yeah, Milik's nice and low if he does start. I can get behind that. But no Danilo, it looks like, which I think. So they're weakened for sure. And Alexander's not going to play on the right of the back three because I'm pretty sure he's left-footed. Maybe he will play.
This is a fun Udinese team as well.
Yeah. Wallace, Thavan, yeah.
Samardic. This guy's linked everywhere quite a lot. Wallace, like you mentioned. Yeah.
The Argentinian lad.
Okoye in goals.
Big Okoye in goal, yeah.
They're not in the top 10 Udinese, I can tell you that behind the ad. They're 16th at the moment. There we go. 13 draws for Udinese.
Wow. That is minging. I've never seen that's the biggest by a mile. What's 9? Bologna have 9 and Lecce have 9. 13 though is ridiculous.
That's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really held them back. 2 wins this season.
Jesus. Does that say does that mean they have no number 9, or does that mean they just
1 goal a game
defending? Yeah.
Away from home, how do they squeeze? One of their wins was away, 8 goals in 18. So yeah, it's probably the away form's extra crappy. 6 draws on the road. Juve at home haven't lost. 17 goals scored over 11. Don't really concede either. So this is boring 1-0 Juve, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1.5 Juve, isn't it? Basically, either 1 or 2-0, or maybe 2-1. This is
thinking about top of the tables, but
yeah, I was going to say this is really sneaky. This Stuttgart Mainz fixture. Yeah, this comes up really high in the builders as well on SD. Like some big cards here. Your Undavs are on fire. There's so many so many cards that you can get behind Guirassy, Undav, Fulrich. I know Milot hasn't been great, but Stiller, Maximilian Misseltad. They've got some good SO5 boys in here, and the fixture kind of probably allows them to maybe do it again for the most part. I don't have a reason why not. I think Mainz played midweek as well. They drew 1-0 with Union Berlin. So,
nice.
Yeah, whatever that means. But yeah, Amiri is like fully back, Quinny.
I know. Exactly. It's amazing.
It's only taken him 4 years, but he is he's back.
He's back. It's good position for him to be in. Mm-hmm. And I want to check out how much Mainz paid for him, because I said in December that Celtic should have signed him, because I thought he was going to leave for like pennies, and I bet he went for like £3 million or something. We Amiri. Good to see he's cooking. But yeah, Stuttgart riding high, top of the table. Guirassy and Undav together. This should be a good game for them to get 3 points, maybe score a couple of goals as well. And like Stuttgart are really, like, even by me, but a lot of Bundesliga lovers are maybe overlooking Stuttgart a little bit because everyone loves Leverkusen right now. But Stuttgart are still in amongst it. You know, they're not fighting for the title in the same regard, but like firm top four all of a sudden when they've been struggling against relegation for a few years. So still definitely a bit of a tail on the go there, certainly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they've been that sort of, under Leverkusen. It's like the second funnest team maybe to root for, isn't it? With like Guirassy went on that run and obviously got injured, which was annoying. But yeah, Undav looks like he's on fire, and Mainz are struggling. So yeah, no better time to probably play them and give them a bit of a whooping.
Yeah, get some goals in for the boys for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could be good striker options there for sure. Real Madrid, Girona, talking about top of the table clashes, eh?
This is it. This is the big one in La Liga this weekend. Yeah, man, I'm excited for this one. I've got skin in both sort of sides of the side of this game, and yeah, I just want to see, obviously, from a neutral perspective, just a good game of football. Are we going to get that? And by good, I mean like, are we going to see a lot of goals? I mean, probably. Like, I think Girona without a few players. I think Daley Blin's out, and there's definitely a few question marks in there. That obviously weakens them. So, and the same for Real Madrid. They have weaknesses as well. There's definitely players out for them, but, Vinny kind of being back does probably help things. I don't know. How do you see this one going? I know you're a big Girona fan, and
well, Girona have got 2 suspensions. Daley Blind and Herrera are yellow carded out of this, so there's just no chance of them playing, so don't even think about it. But yeah, away from home, I think that it'll probably suit Girona a bit better, to be honest with you. Okay. They can let Real Madrid have a bit more of the ball, and then let Saganikov, Savio, Miguel Gutierrez, Couto, they can just fly, when they win the ball and can play into some space. Because if this is the back four, Tchouameni and Lucas Vazquez and Carvajal and Mendy, they'll fancy their chances running across half a pitch with them. So it could be, or no, Rudiger, sorry, I don't know why that was set like that. I beg your pardon, guys, sorry. But no, Rudiger's in to start. I don't know why that happened. Maybe starts messing about with this Wanpei. Maybe it was a wee glitchy thing that happened. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that, lads. Anyone that had the Rudiger there maybe spat their tea out, sorry. But yeah, even with Tchouameni in here with Rudiger, I think they'll fancy playing balls in behind them and running. Mm-hmm. So it probably suits both teams. Real Madrid will want the ball. They'll want to get Camavinga and Bellingham and all that. Kroos to shoot from the edge of the box. They'll want to get a bit of that on the go. So this should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it, and I think this really will tell you if Girona are going to be in a title race or not. Because if Real Madrid win this, Real Madrid have already beat Girona this year. Mm-hmm. It's the only loss that Girona have had so far. So they really need to even the score on this to then keep it that their destiny's in their own hands. If Real Madrid win this, they'd probably pull away. Girona might not catch them. They still could, but definitely be a huge kind of like sentimental blow to them, I think. So even a draw keeps the things as they are, and then it's just one mistake from Real Madrid and they're back in front. So maybe a bit cagey of a La Liga game, maybe, but I think if a goal or two goes in quick enough, then it could just be fucking all hard. Aye, everything goes. Go for it, lads. Because like Vinny and Rodrigo playing against like Couto and Gutierrez, for example, like Gutierrez is owned by Real Madrid. Couto plays for Brazil as well with these guys, so there'll be a lot of really interesting kind of one-on-ones in that regard as well. 100%. So like, I don't think.
I was just going to say Savio is going to want us to turn up here like this is his game. Like I think I read in the week, like he's trying to learn from Rodrigo. Like not even, I know Vinny's obviously ahead in that sort of progress in terms of, you know, what they're like as players. But yeah, you know, Savio's trying to, you know, really just, you know, just find his feet and to do it in a game like this, away to Real Madrid. Like if he could really do something here, I know he's already going to City or whatever, but like this is where like people might know about Savio tonight, you know, like just the generic football fan and be like, wow, who's this kid? And then everyone goes, oh, City have just bought him. Of course they have. You know, it's one of them situations where City look like, you know, they've been, you know, I know he's been in that, you know, sort of sphere, you know, City group for a while, but yeah, this will be, you know, he could really cement himself as like a legit player this weekend.
Just catching up on some howdies that are dropping in. See Laird joining us. So yeah, this will be one of my games of the weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. It's kind of hard to prioritize matches, but guys, I'm just noticing we've got hundreds of these here joining us. 120 on YouTube at the moment. We're only at 32 likes, but the magic number 67, guys. You know it already. If you didn't know it, so they are owning control of the internet. If you haven't noticed, and they know if you're here watching the show, and they know if you've liked it or not. And when it comes to the DNP luck and the RNG luck for your rewards tonight, you want Sorare on your side, you know. So make sure we get the likes up to 67 and lock that RNG lock in for us all ahead of the weekend. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I would love to see Girona do the business, and I think it will be, if they do it, they're going to need to score quickly in this game because Girona's bench don't really help them too much. So even if the game's tight, like I think they'll be happy enough. But I think Girona will want to make something happen in the first half, is what my hunch is. Real Madrid probably don't really think about it now. Those terms, they probably just think we're going to go and beat them. So, yeah, it should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. Tchouameni centre-back will be an interesting one to keep an eye on, I would say.
Definitely.
And then we come to River, who are at home.
Away to a newly promoted team, I believe.
Oh, wow. So this is a false position, 100%.
I think so, yeah. Well, I mean, we have odds because it shows obviously 60 whatever percent, but yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Newly promoted team. You know, these wee places may have a good wee home atmosphere. There won't be any away fans, I don't think, in Argentina. I think it's one of those leagues where that's the case. But yeah, when you hear big team against newly promoted, you just, you know, it whets your appetite, doesn't it? You're like, yes, bring it on this weekend. Here we go. And it's a strong team.
Yeah, this is massive. Barco, has looked absolutely amazing recently since the start of the season. Colidio, Borgia are both on fire. Borgia being probably the one that started, and not as and has not stopped, where Colidio's just maybe getting into it now. But yeah, everything looks pretty sound here. I know there's still players to come into this. We've got Echeverri to kind of come in, and there's still sort of a few talents to fit into that midfield three. Don't think that's settled in any way as far as like what we're looking at there. But yeah, man, there's no way we don't see River stacks of some sort, defensively, offensively, whatever. Like, you know, running high this weekend.
Yeah. I think it's good to see Big Barco running, or wee Barco running the show again. So it's good to see that kind of shine out. And same with Colidio, because he had a big reputation and it never really happened for him. So it's good to see some of these players kind of getting their, you know, kicking their career on properly. So yeah, good weekend for the River Stacks. And yeah, in terms of, like you said, the odds are there, but like the AA indicators and all the rest of it, the things that would probably make the biggest difference to where they sit in this list are just like NAs. You know, it just doesn't compute because this team hasn't, you know, had a camera at a football match before, or
I know. I'd love to see their stadium. They might be a big club, and I might be, you know, disregarding them. But I can't assume. Like, there's a few pictures that come out over the last few weeks. Like, this team will be playing in Argentinian's first division. It's just like, you know, it wouldn't even be like a Welsh league ground.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. There's just been some that I've been like, wow. Like, there's hardly any stands. Like, it's just nuts. So yeah. It's just funny. But yeah, we've got a few other teams. Do we continue? Like, what are we feeling like now? We're in the 60 percenters.
That's what I was thinking. There's a few interesting teams. I've just put Porto up on screen because I know there's a few Porto hardcores that we've not done any Portugal yet, have we?
We
just clicked through Portugal just now?
No, we haven't, because Sporting play Braga this weekend. which is literally 3 or 4 down from on the matchups tab. But obviously,
is it Sporting? I get mad excited. I've got Jan Moutinho playing for Braga. And I think it came up on Sorare as like a grey badge team. And I was like, oh, cool, I don't even care who that is.
It must be because of the licensing, I guess.
Braga gets a grey badge, bring it on, It might be Lisbon. I need to check that, how that's displayed, because I didn't realise it was Braga Sporting.
Yeah, big game. Obviously, Sporting didn't play last weekend because of, the police decided to have a day off or something. Yeah. They thought they would do some more annual leave or something. And
like, it's a grey badge?
Yeah, it's because of the license, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't care who that is.
Mad. That is mad.
You're going to look into it.
That's funny how you just completely didn't even bother looking into it. Led says that team play a stadium that has a capacity of 3,000, Quinny. So I wasn't far off.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a wild one. Mikey Baston says transfer deadline day in Turkey today, so still some chance of some moves there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we can disregard the Sporting fixture, as far as SO5 goes, because I'm sure they'll still score well in certain areas. The Benfica fixture is quite tough. Vitória away, it's not an easy ground. When I've watched Benfica play there before, I don't think they have the best of times there. But it looks like Florentino's kind of overtaken Kochu as sort of the weekend player, because Kochu played midweek in the cup, and there's something going on here, Quinny.
I hate those rotation cycles. It's good that you can predict them, but when you see them, you're like, oh no.
I know. I looked in the Lairds just won Kochu, by the way. Can we just get that off our chest?
There you go. Of course.
Of course he has. Jean Mario out again. Kochu's injured. Is that what you're saying, Raul? Because I read that. But anyway, it's still a very good Benfica side, and I think Cabral scored a couple last night, maybe in the cup, and defensively they look pretty sound. Bar's back in the team, the Di Marias, your João Neves, Rafa Silvas, they're still all going to score relatively well. Yeah.
So there's the Portuguese little section fees, get them all done together. So I don't know if there's Porto. They're normally close if they're not at the top. They're normally all bunched together, but Porto Sporting, I see them there. But you say Victoria Guimarães away for Benfica. It's not making the list, is it?
No, not until.
Oh, you went by them.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but they were quite far down. A wee bit more. There you go. This is Zagreb.
Sorry. Yeah, so they're not too far away, but definitely still a decent chunk away. The Saint Truden fixture could be. They're the team that I know you like Westerlo as well, but Saint Truden obviously under 23 heavy. They've got Zion Suzuki back, I think, in goal, and they play Kortrijk at home. So I think that's a really interesting fixture. Is ter Stegen back open? I think he is. Yeah. Saint Truden. They play Kortrijk.
We pop that up. Is that the next one?
Yeah, why not? It's just below Sporting. Below Dortmund. We can obviously do Dortmund as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's a good one. I think people will be targeting those Saint Truden players for sure. Sorry, Quinn, I know you wanna.
I'll be talking roadmap stuff probably after the deadline show and whatever. I've not quite got there yet. We want to have fun. We're going into the game week. We know what we're doing. We're all having fun. We're here for a good time. But just in case you're joining the show, I thought I'd let you know what I said at the intro. We've only got 52 likes, but we need to get that to 67 before we can get the RNG lock in to make sure we don't get those DNPs ahead of the weekend, guys. So make sure you jump in on with that as well. I just went to load a team up there. What was it? Oh, yeah. St. Truden, Kortrijk. Oh, Joe Chima Fujita and Delorgi Nipper in midfield. That looks fun. I don't know if I said that name right, but...
No, I think you did. I think, for AA purposes, it's going to be really tasty for those midfielders. Koita being back. I think this plays tonight. Yes, tonight, Quinny, to be fair. 7:45. So hopefully the Friday curse doesn't impact anything here. But Kortrijk obviously still not great, but they are scoring the odd goal. And I tell you what, Quinny, Fuji and Tsonda, however we're going to pronounce his name, the two J-League players, they are smashing it like, and I mean like crushing in a team that like are losing most games. Well, Fuji's scores are ridiculous. I don't know whether, it could, if you want to have a quick little look, he's been scoring like 35 AA like it's nothing, I believe. 50 AA, 30s. Okay, yeah. 26s. It's been nice. I think the other guy's only been there for less games, maybe 3. I don't know, but I don't think it's 4. Regardless, he's been doing good as well. So, yeah, it's just interesting to see that like that transition can be done. I know we've seen it before, obviously, but like, look at that. That's probably even better.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, maybe not in the draw. Yeah, fair enough. So, the clean sheet is still affecting it, I guess. What was I going to say? Ogiwara as well. He doesn't play in this league. He plays for Dynamo, actually, but he scored really well last weekend. He was you are a Red Diamonds defender as well. So, yeah, I think great fixture for these tonight. But I'm sure nobody is Friday proof, Charles. Nah, to be fair, if there's one player that's Friday proof, I think it's Koita.
Yeah, he does love a Friday. The amount of Koita Fridays I've seen in the group chat on the Barcelona guys, it's been mental. A lot of Koita love.
That's funny.
Stoikers as well up there. He scores pretty well. And I don't know this guy, and I'm not going to try his name either.
I don't either, actually, Quinny. Yeah, good point. I've not seen that guy's. Yeah, he's come out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
Struikers has been good. Yeah, very good.
Oh, then we've got the Arsenal playing the West Ham.
Yeah, big game. Very big game.
Very big game. Every game for Arsenal's last game of the season. We've been saying that on this show all season long, and I think now we're getting a bit of mainstream chat saying the same thing. Every time they win a game, it's like they've won the league, you know. But West Ham are no pushovers. I know they've had a pretty bad result or two recently, but, you know, they've definitely got a strong team, a strong outfit that shouldn't be taken lightly. But it looks like Ben Johnson, the right back, is playing in this advanced wing position, perhaps.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Which is definitely suboptimal, I would think, but
big time. He's more of a centre back, right back than he is a winger. So,
is this a David Moyes negative move?
Yeah, if I had to guess, yeah, it's allow Kudus to kind of do what he wants on that side, and then Ben Johnson just has to do all the running on the other side, right? To kind of balance it out, maybe. Because outside of Bowen Kudus, obviously very quick. Outside of that, that team doesn't have much pace at all.
Yeah.
So what's the outball? I know they're at home, but they're not going to have the possession. Arsenal will. So they need someone on sort of the counter. Jorginho's in. Ooh, okay.
Havertz up top. Yeah. Arsenal West Ham.
Yeah, I think Arsenal win that though. To be honest, I don't think West Ham have got enough about them. Even at home.
Yeah, just average. 2 losses. Good.
Yeah, Jack says, of course they have, injuries there for sure. And they've sold a few wingers and players that can play in that. Yeah, Paqueta not playing is the big one, isn't it? Him being out, is a big one. Kennedy says, I think we could see Emile Smith-Rowe for Jorginho. Arteta likes Emile Smith-Rowe against low blocks to unlock the defense. Yeah, that's a good point. You're not playing Jorginho higher up out of those 3 in that sense. So, yeah, he's only going to be there if he's the pivot. So, yeah. And is it Declan Rice ex-club goal? I know he probably doesn't want to do it, but surely he does, right? Surely to God.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Declan Rice, old club, old ground. First return, isn't it? First return to that ground.
Did he score against them at the Emirates, I believe? That volley. Was it against West Ham? I think it was, wasn't it? Remember back post? Someone needs to correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But he scored a volley. Maybe that was last season, actually. But is it his return? I don't know. Maybe it is. He returned to the cup. They lost.
Oh, did they? Okay. Well.
Cups don't.
There goes that theory. And then where have we got next? 20. Quite far down the list this week. Away to Excelsior, Harry, your lads.
My boys, they're without their main man, Julian Bass, in midfield. So I'm gutted personally from a utility perspective. And I think he's played like 38 games in a row. He just doesn't miss games. But
Cisse Sandra.
Yeah. Decent player.
Sandra. Love a bit of that.
Lovely name. And yeah, I still think 20 have probably got too much for them, to be honest. Even though they're away, it's still hard to get behind Excelsior, unfortunately.
Yeah, Excelsior, where do they find themselves? 20 are in third. I can see that behind the ad. So yeah, 20 in third. Really important for them to keep ahead of the likes of AZ and Ajax. And Excelsior, yeah, they're not safe, but I don't think they're under that much pressure from the bottom yet. But yeah, it'll be important for them to get points at home. They're actually pretty good at home, top half table. Wow, 6 draws. They just don't lose at home. Excelsior and 20 away. Yeah, I suppose they're decent.
And they've come into a bit of form recently, to be fair, 20. Last couple.
They just sold a striker or something, but as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Ugalde went to Sparta.
Russia.
Yeah.
And then this game is a bit of it's not a derby, but it's a top of the table clash, kind of historically over the last couple of years. I don't know where Lille sit right now, but I think they're doing okay. But PSG, is this as good as we've seen them in terms of a starting 11 this year? With Hakimi back from AFCON and Ugarte, Zaire Emery in midfield again. And then that front three seems to be gelling ever so slightly. Is PSG together?
I'd say so, yeah. It's looking more together than it probably ever kind of has maybe this season. The 2 number 9s didn't work, did they? Obviously with Muani and Ramos. And yeah, Barcola's done really well on the wing. So it just means that, Mbappe is going to play number 9, basically, alongside 2 legit wingers. So yeah, I mean, it's a massive game for both teams, I think. But obviously, yeah, you still have to fancy PSG here. I actually saw this fixture live in the flesh once, which was amazing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. This was literally the fixture we went to with Sorare. So obviously no Messi, no Neymar. There's obviously some big names that aren't there anymore. But glad to obviously get to see them play. And yeah, I've watched Okay, I didn't watch him, under Luis Enrique, and they are a different team now. I'll kind of give them that, to be honest. But yeah, I think there'll be fireworks. I'd be shocked if there weren't goals either end. But I still fancy PSG. It's hard not to.
Yeah. Paulo Fonseca is definitely getting a good right up. Lille sit 4th in the table at the moment, but I think PSG are cruising away with it. They do have Champions League coming up. They'll be playing Real Sociedad, which is probably an easier Champions League game than PSG are used to, certainly, but not a foregone conclusion by any stretch. Lille on 35 points, so yeah, they're really attached to this middle fight. There's 5 teams here that are just detached from PSG. It's kind of between them, isn't it, for all those positions. Nice Brest up there at the top, and then Lille Monaco. So it's all to play for.
Yeah. Big time.
Love seeing nice Brest up the top there. Loving it.
It's never a bad sight.
Gladbach are in amongst it, Harry boy, as we approach we're past the hour mark. Where will we cut this? Will we cut this we've done Benfica. Will we cut it at Zagreb?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool. So we'll go Gladbach.
We kind of skipped Dortmund if you want to do them.
Oh, so we'll go Gladbach, Dortmund.
Yeah, they were just behind Sporting.
Oh, so we did. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that was my fault because we skipped to St. Truden. But yeah, Gladbach. I mean, not really followed them too much this year as far as SO5 goes. That Ritz, like we've mentioned before, or you mentioned as well, he's been taking a few headlines and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Like, there's nothing much to really. This might be their week if you have got Gladbach cards. Especially forwards and stuff. You'd have to fancy him against Darmstadt at home. But I don't know, man. Like this is the week, but we're Gladbach in the league. Like, yeah, they're not doing great themselves. So it's like, yeah, maybe it's just a snore fest. I don't know.
Big points for Gladbach, I think, to get them self-climbing the table. But yeah, I can't remember who they were playing last week. Was it Bayern? Was it the Bayern Gladbach game last week?
Was it? I don't know. It might have been. I genuinely can't think.
So I remember thinking they might have done okay, and they they did turn up, but they didn't get the job done. I can't remember if it was Bayern or whatever. But we'll click over to Dortmund. They're at home at Freiburg, and Freiburg generally are no mugs. Like Freiburg are definitely a team that can get a result, can definitely score a goal or two. Dortmund team's really strong, but it looks like Mr. SO5 Julian Brandt is back in town. But the thing with Brand, especially when he is in this non-100% state, is he's not getting 90 minutes. It's just not going to happen, So you need to get your DAs on him early and hope that he gets them in before he gets hooked. Because some of these other guys, as a result, will probably get 90 minutes and maybe have a wee bit of a better, it's just the longer you're in the fight, better chance you've got of a knockout kind of situation, isn't it? So it's the only thing I would say on Brandt, just coming back into it,
Yeah, I think, just looking at the defense a little bit, I mean, Maatsen, I know it's just been mentioned there in the chat, he's got Dortmund cards now and he's in the pool, which is great. But I really didn't foresee this. Like, I'm not saying I never rated Maatsen, like he was great and stuff in the champ and could see there was talent there. But the way he just come in and he just smashed straight away, like you just rarely see that. Like it is quite hard to get behind certain moves. Like like from like a gamble's perspective, like if you buy him when he's going to Dortmund, it's like, okay, is that good? Like it's hard to see it, isn't it, before it actually happens? And like I've been proven wrong. Like it's literally happens like every game. Like he's on fire, to be fair to him. The AA is there, the assist capabilities are there, and fair play. Like that's a really good move. And his L5 is still at 45. Like it was at like 20, I think, for a little bit. Obviously, it's been pushed up because of the incredible scores. But Slaughter, they're all gonna, main guys are gonna probably score pretty well in a fixture like this. Milan, Fulkrig,
Freiburg, what they're looking like. Anyone we know? Grifo's still in town. Ritsu Doan is back in the building. Atubolu loves to concede a couple of goals. And we've got Sildilia in there, Gunter, some Sorare legends and heroes, Egestein. So they're not total writes off. Where are Freiburg in the table at the moment? They're sitting in 7th. So this is going to be a toughie. Dortmund will need to earn these points. And I think, again, with Reina going to Forest and with Sancho having a bit of an injury, one of the things I've noticed with Dortmund when I've been paying attention to them is their bench doesn't give them that much as well. Royce can come off the bench fine, but if they've got Fulkrug and Malin on, both aren't from the beginning. I don't know. I just always feel that Dortmund don't really have gears later in the match. I feel like I was just saying this a minute ago, but someone else. But
Girona,
similar kind of thing. I just don't feel that they've got gears to go up in a match. It's more about they can maybe maintain what they're doing a little bit if that. So Freiburg, I wouldn't totally write them off if you get Dortmund cards, but like Schlotterbeck will probably still rinse it. I'm a big Sabitzer fan, so he'll probably do well. Maatsen, like you say, Brandt could do it. Fulkrug, I think, is probably your best hope of a good score out of this, but an L15 of 63 is probably not going to help you in anything too clever or whatever in that regard. So that's a fun one. And then what do we finish with? Zagreb?
Why not? Why not?
Now, guys, get requests in. We've probably missed one or two. So if we have, get the requests in. We'll go and look at teams for you as well. I'll deal with the ad blocker. Don't you worry. Oh, yeah, Mukoko. Yeah, Mukoko, of course. Show Shix. Thanks very much for the catch on that one. Forgetting the next wonder kid. Mukoko, of course. Forever 17 or whatever he is. And so this is Lokomotiv Zagreb. There's a funny name for this derby. I forgot what it is. This is a big derby. Bartolikin. Don't know anyone else in this team. I don't think so. And then Dinamo.
Pretty
strength.
Yeah, kind of. But my boy Ogiwara, look at that Uara Red Diamonds jersey on him. Beautiful. I think he scored like 35 AA in his first start as well, which is really encouraging. I'm trying to get him into a side for sure, because although it's obviously a big game and stuff away from home, I still think he could probably put up a decent score here. So, I'm excited for this one. Batterine actually finally got a DA, Quinny, after like 30 years, it feels like, last weekend. I think he got himself a goal. So that was good for him. And, that's one that, people have been waiting for that for a while. I'm optimistic about, I'm more optimistic about Zagreb maybe going forward than I kind of was before. So, good fixture.
Yeah. I think like all these additions, like this kind of gives me wee Celtic vibes. Kaneko coming in doing well, Ogawara coming in doing well, So like, it could be a wee renaissance period for Zagreb as they kind of rebound from this horrible season they've had. So I like to see that. Love a bit of Sorare migration. I'm sure we'll be talking about that maybe towards the end of the show. But we've got some requests coming. We had one for Ghent, so we'll go and pull them up for you at the moment, because Ghent is a bit of roulette, isn't it, for who's getting picked every week. And they're playing Cercle Bruges. No ad blocker on this one. Love to see it, or no ads. Desart in midfield. Watanabe's playing. Schmidt, Ishmael Kandus, Samois. kind of a similar team to normal, I guess, isn't it? A few
Yeah,
rotations.
Yeah, I can kind of get behind that team. Obviously, just lost Cyphers.
Yeah.
Hugo Cyphers. So, yeah, big loss for them, I guess. But Circular Bruges just scoring goals. Denki had a couple last week. I think the whole front, four, all shared a lot of DAs last week. That guy number 10 there, Lemacharel.
Lemacharel.
Yeah, he scored
Lemacharel.
he scored like 100, Quinny, I think. He really smashed. I think he got a decisive and maybe some really nice AA. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's a big one. Very big one, to be fair.
His name came to me somehow, somewhere in a video, maybe like one of those Road to Glory videos he used to do, maybe like people recommending budget guys that have transferred or something. I don't know. I just recognise his name there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his script is, but yeah, he's a wee player. Denki's also got some headlines. And then we had another one. Johnny's getting us to go through bloody everything here. But we've got Napoli up next. We'll have a wee peek at Napoli. I see what they're giving it, because we didn't really look at much Italy. We've got Roma Inter. We'll have a peek at as well. It's a big game in Italy. Didn't really look at any Italy, did we, in fact? Oh, Juve. We'll do Juve.
Yeah.
Roma. So Angelino's in. Loving to see that. Mancini. Nice. Cool. El Shawari's back. And then the Inter team kind of picks itself these days, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see what Napoli are doing. Oh, Napoli Milan. No ad. Loving life. Yeah, go for it, man. Giroud up top. Leao, Pulisic. Strong midfield. Gabbia coming in at defence along Chiar. Interesting. And Napoli. Nice front three there. Don't really know much about the defence, I must say. Or, it's good to see Zambo in town, but he's not been in the same form. And Zielinski's now signed to go to Inter in the summer.
I mentioned it, didn't I? I was like, remember I said that there was rumours, and then it's just happened. I'm not saying I made it happen, but like it all become official, didn't it? Like a couple of days after that, it felt like.
So talking about exiling him from the squad in the meantime. So tough luck Zielinski holders, man. Gutted.
I know, yeah, it's horrible. That is. He does have Poland playoffs in March, so yeah. Well, after
a little bit of respite,
they might not, but yeah.
And I think Fiorentina was in the matchups tab, so I'll put that up because I've got a Fiorentina player and he's playing. Yay! But Lotti coming into this team, that could be an upgrade, by the way. Nico Gonzalez starting. This could be an alright set of scores, by the way. Fiorentina. Mm-hmm. Frosinone, Wonder Kid Central these days. Sewell and Cal George. Harue, Renier, Sek. What a guy. I don't know how young that Sek is, in fact, but what these are guys, a bit younger. So yeah, I think it could be a good game for Fiorentina. Big Belotti running the show up top.
Yeah, it could be
click on Lazio since we've got it going.
Lazio been struggling, haven't they?
Yeah. Real Betis, have a wee peek at that since we've got that. Real Betis and then Leverkusen, Bayern. Yeah, show 6. We'll end on that, in fact, because we've not looked at that yet. Betis and then Leverkusen, Bayern. So let's see. The reason that we're probably getting this question is because Isco is now injured and they've just signed Pablo Fornals. I'm not too sure. I think Pablo Fornals starts, to be honest with you. I'm not too sure Willian Jose will start. Yeah, I think it's more Fornals in the number 10 and maybe Fekir up top. Because I was reading Pellegrini's comments because also I've got a Fekir and a Roca. Mm-hmm. And he was he really liked. He basically said Fekir's close to going back to playing number 10 fitness-wise, but he liked how up front it doesn't really stress him out too much, like in his recovery period, or his return to full power. So I could see probably Fekir keeping there. Fornals, can play anywhere in midfield basically for Betis, so I can't see him not starting. A Premier League player coming in fully fit and firing and ready to go. Pellegrini's had him before when he was at West Ham. I think he signed him for West Ham from Villarreal, if memory serves. So, I can't see Fornals not, especially with Isco being out, I can't see Fornals not. Personally, just me, if you've got a Fornals, I'd roll him out there on an L15 or 33 away at Cadiz. No problem at all, if it was me.
Yeah.
And then, the biggie, the one that every football fan is probably going to watch. I know Real Madrid Girona is on at the same time. Maybe you're going to get some double screen action on the go, or maybe you're going to have to pick and choose, but you can't not watch this one, I don't think, if you've got the choice. Tapsoba's back in the house. Hinchapi retains his place. Is Odilon still away? I think he must be. Frimpong gets his start after last weekend not getting the start. He played Cup midweek. Wirtz, Schick and Hoffman on the front three. kind of as good as it gets. Andrik for Palacios, maybe not, but Andrik is no slump. He's quite hard hitting.
Yeah, you can put it about.
And then Muller retains his spot. We see Bowie keep in. No much surprise elsewhere. Kimmich has returned.
Yeah, I don't think Coleman obviously isn't fit. I don't know did Bowie even start last week? I don't think he did. But I can't. He did he?
I think he did. Let's go check. I'm pretty sure he did. I don't think he did great.
I thought I saw him. I
don't know. Came off the bench. You're right. He came off the bench.
Who started though?
Mazraoui.
Mazraoui. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What do you think you're thinking if you're Thomas Tuchel and you're Bayern? You're probably a bit nervous coming into this game, aren't you, compared to Leverkusen?
Yeah, you'd have to be away from home.
Leverkusen are probably a wee bit more like, come on, let's do it. Let's make sure we do it. You know,
they'll have all the confidence. Bayern are the ones playing catch up, right? So it's like pressure is on them. Realistically, I'd say being the bigger team, like they've got more to kind of lose. If they lose this game, because what's it look like when you go back on the standings for me? Sorry, Brian Zaragoza. I was just going to say,
bench. That's a whip, isn't it, off the bench?
Yeah, it's a nice little 10-15 minute at the end cameo, maybe. Okay, so if they win this game, Leverkusen, 5 points clear. Like, that is huge, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah. Having drawn with Bayern at the Allianz Arena earlier this season.
Not lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's going to definitely happen, but Jesus, that is what an incentive that is for Leverkusen. But Bayern's incentive is they win this game, they go top. they go point clear. So, Jesus, man, this is so hard to predict. It really is. No Palacios is a massive loss. Kennedy says Davis with an injury could be Mazraoui left back, Bowie right back, or Guerrero left back, Mazraoui right back. Yeah, so it's obviously toss-ups there on the flanks. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm confident if I'm Bayern here, Quinny. I don't know.
They were ordinary at best. I fancy Leverkusen. Yeah, I don't think like Bayern are that confident really in general. You know, I know Kane scores and the rest of it. Kimmich is back. Maybe they're feeling a bit better about that. Kim Min-jae's back, whatever. But it doesn't feel like Bayern have just been ripping teams. And I know they won 3-1 last weekend. I just double checked the score there. But I would fancy Leverkusen to be in control of the game. If Bayern probably take the points, Leverkusen maybe give them an opening or make give away a stupid penalty or free kick or something like that. Whereas Bayern, I feel that they probably need something out of their control to happen, maybe to give them the real control of this match. Because even if Bayern take the lead, I don't think that changes Leverkusen one bit. It probably keeps the game the same for them. So yeah, this will be a really interesting watch, I think, for all that'll be tuning in, whether you get cards or not, whether you're getting the rivals teams tapped in or not. Guys, we're not quite at 67 likes yet. Come on. If you're a Sorare scout or manager tuning in, you need to get your RNG luck in. You need to make sure you're not going to get those DNPs. You need to hit the like button. You know that. Bayern always do. Yeah. And again, when I look at this, see when I see that 0, I can see the Twitter posts after the game, like Bayern taking the 0 off Xabi Alonso. The run comes to an end, 22 games or whatever it is. But equally, I can see it running as well. So it's one of those ones where it is. Good luck predicting it.
Literally. Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough to predict, isn't it? Really tough.
No, Boniface will be big as well. Big game for Schick.
Yeah, that did Schick Schick didn't start last week. It was Borja Iglesias, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, you may be right there.
Sure, it was. Yeah, Luke says draw. It's hard to look past a draw, I think.
Yeah, Iglesias started the last one. Schick the one before. They had cup midweek as well. I need to check who started midweek. But I'm just thinking the last game against Bayern. Have a wee peek at the team that played there. There we go, 2-2. I wonder if we can see one from last season, perhaps. But yeah, Andrik and Xhaka in midfield on this one. And they managed to get the draw. Obviously, Boniface different here. Boniface didn't get the goal. It was Palacios with a penalty, as it looks like here. Grimaldo, obviously, whatever he did in that match, I forget if it was a free kick or open play. And then can we scroll back to last season real quickly and see if there is a Bayern Xabi Alonso match? Yeah, 19th of March, that would have been. 2-1 victory at home. Adley winning 2 penalties, is that? Oh, that's the Palacios 2 penalty match. If you remember that, he broke 100.
Okay, yeah.
So, good form for it.
Big time.
Hey, Harry boy, do you want to show us what you're up to this week? What you've got locked and loaded?
Oh, mate, that's my big worry. I don't think I've got much locked and loaded, to be honest, mate. Right now, I'm a bit all over the place. Drafts here that we could kind of look at, but I'm a bit. There's like news coming out, and I don't know. There's all sorts kind of changing in my mind as far as what I want to do. So yeah, I'm kind of like semi-set, I would say, but there's still a few things I need to iron out. Kind of gone into Champ this week for the first time. I don't think I've ever played Champ Europe Rare, so that'll be fun. Got myself a little. I had a few Las Palmas defenders, and I thought, why not go out and get the goalie? So I did so. And then yeah, keep the Real Madrid boys together. Captain Pedri, and we're hopefully set. Obviously 240 last weekend of that. Obviously we have it midweek technically, but well, you know, in this format or this iteration. And yeah, I think this is what I'm probably going to go in with. I've got all home fixtures, which is lovely because I am a big home advocate, and yeah, hopefully they do the business. I am going to go into under 23 Super. I didn't get my sweat last week, Quinny. Obviously Zaidu's fixture with Sporting was cancelled because of the police, obviously, like we mentioned. So yeah, that'd be nice to kind of go into that. But a lot of away fixtures there, even though Teze kind of has probably the best fixture of all this weekend against Volendam. And yeah, just like somehow I've quite a few rare goalkeepers playing football right now, so I'm able to throw out a few All-Stars and 240s and 270s, and yeah, things. You know, I'm not actually the under 23 teams that they're a little bit hidden down here. Again, I'm not in love with them, so there might be a few changes made, to be honest, in the next sort of half an hour, because I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest. I've got Connor Robertson here in 220. Hopefully he plays for Leeds, like we saw on the sharper predictions. And yeah, like Yari apparently had a bit of cramp midweek, so I don't know if he's like, you know, raring to go. I've just got a few doubts, Quinn, you know, and it's never great having doubts. I like being quite stern in, you know, my approach, and I hate having like things that just put sort of wounds in that, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just sorting out the last bits and pieces. I had to do a wee reshuffle there on the Moutinho once I've seen how strong his game is. Downgrade him a little bit. I'm still playing. He still could do well, but I'm not jumping up and down to make sure I put him in as good a team as he was in now. All of a sudden,
yeah.
But yeah, and like I said at the tip off of the stream, like I deleted everything after we got the announcement the other day because it just all turned my mind into mush, thinking about priorities and strategies. And I'm listening to you talk about playing Champ Rare for the first time. Like, you know, is it just because of the cards, or you know, what's you know, how have you found yourself in there?
Well, really? Just because I bought the Velez goalkeeper basically, and the fixture was a one where I thought, you know what, I could probably get away with going into Champ, to be honest, with the firepower I have up front, even though the outfielders are all under 23, of course, but I don't think that kind of matters too much. Maybe I could even go double defense and maybe drop Rodrigo and play Sergi Cardona, because I have him somewhere flying around. Yeah, he's captain in under 23. So yeah, I don't know. There's a few variations, and mate, honestly, it's just to freshen things up. If I'm being honest, like I've never played that division really, so it's just nice to just do something that I don't really do normally. You know, things can get quite stale sometimes in just galleries as such if you're just competing at the same place every time. And I don't know, I just thought I have cards already. Why don't I just buy one goalkeeper that makes me stronger there? And yeah, it's hoping, you know, for this weekend specifically, it might not work every weekend. You know, I can kind of do a bit there, and obviously collection bonus as well. Like I said, I had the two Las Palmas defenders. It kind of just made sense. I also, Quinny, to go with my Savio that I won a few months ago, I bought a Alexi Garcia.
Oh,
yeah. So he's in All-Star Rare for me. Obviously, tough fixture, but I think I'm still going to run him in there instead of Champ. I think I've got to prioritize the Pedri fixture a little bit more. So, I'm all over the place, if I'm being honest. Like, this looks set, but I don't think it's going to be right now in my head. I think I've got a few changes to make, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. I'm going to do a few more adaptations to it, because I'm not too happy with it yet.
It's hard to get those combos just so when you're in two minds, especially when you've got some new divisions in the mix as well. It's just interesting hearing how you've kind of got into that, because I know like the Valles pickup, he's been kind of riding high on a lot of charts and everything. But yeah, so I was just curious more than anything when I heard you mentioning that, just if it was an early change of direction, perhaps. Was it just a wee, like you say, just the cards fit and why not kind of thing?
Yeah, and I just needed more exposure in Champ, to be honest. Like I've got Verbruggen, but obviously he's not nailed this season. So hopefully going into next season, I can have like maybe 2 Champ goalkeepers, one in the Prem and maybe one in La Liga is kind of how I kind of saw that, to be honest. Yeah, I just didn't have enough exposure to like a solid, rare Champ goalie. And I have the outfielders to kind of do a bit there now and again. So it's like, am I wasting it a little bit? Maybe. So, I just kind of, I just thought, why not get stuck into it?
Fair play. Yeah. So what's the big hope of the weekend? What do you think's going to actually kick in?
Good question, mate. I mean, I'm doing the teams again now, so they might change a little bit. Like this is kind of what I've got reiterated so far, because Lafayette, mate, this is like the weirdest situation. I don't know if anyone knows anything about Standard Liège, but like this guy, I bought him for like 90 quid. He's been great for me, but like apparently like after this game, he's just going to get completely exiled. Like the manager just hates him, but like he can't not play him right now because he doesn't have any centre backs.
That's a mare.
So yeah, so I've basically got him for one last game. It looks like Play Sharper updated their predictions. They've got him at like 80%, which is kind of good enough for me this weekend. So yeah, I've got something like this in for now. I don't know how I feel about the two forwards in 240. I think that's a little bit risky, but it's I might as well go out on a high. Let's just go for it. It's the last big 240. Yeah, what have I got to lose, really?
I think I went double attacker in that division as well, to be honest with you.
Wow, okay.
This week, just because of L15s and no, I didn't actually. I went double attacker in a different division. But the L15 combos and squeezing them into cap was the tough part of it this week. It was a lot of my guys have hit a bit of form. A few of them have got a bit too expensive, and the cheap ones aren't really that cheap, So it's trying to click them all together. It's definitely a hard part. So yeah, the double forward. If you both think they're playing, one of them scores, it works, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Big time. But yeah, we'll definitely squeeze in the Champ team next, I think. Let's go Velez.
So, Burn, what's going to happen is after this weekend, it's the targeted thresholdy thing after this weekend. And then from, is it the 29th of March, it will be like a kind of mirror division kind of thing where like all the old stuff will kind of still be here if you've used it before. And the new stuff will be here ahead of the new season for us to mess about with it. So this is like the last weekend of just like, everything's like not moving, Everything's the way we've all known it kind of thing, Burn. And then, yeah, everything is fully changed as of August, like you've said here, buddy. But yeah. So why are you putting them all on the data right now when we're half an hour from the deadline?
Because I'm not in a rush, to be honest. I like setting it out like this and then just merging it over in my own time. I like seeing the pick scores. I like having all that in front of me, to be honest, because it does sort of play into sort of my strategies and stuff, and just knowing what I've got where. Yeah, I'm not panicking. There's no panic over here.
Watch the space.
Smooth sailing, baby.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll be chatting about this on the next deadline show for sure. What score people will be aiming for and all the rest of it. So we'll maybe save that one, David. That's a great nugget for us to chew on. But maybe we'll wrestle that this time next week, because that'll definitely take up a lot of decision making, I think, for a lot of Sorare scouts and managers. And we've got one here from DD asking if there's any unique kickoff attack. I'll show you what teams I've got while Harry's still clicking about a little bit. But I went for, I'm going after the big one this week. I say the big one, but I'm going after the big freshie for the last time that it's sitting there on the points as we know it. So this is where I thought I went double forward. Timo Werner isn't forecasted to start this game. And I think he does start, basically. I don't think Brennan Johnson starts. If he's going to put Son straight back into the team, I think it'll be Brennan that drops out rather than Werner. Roca should be back. Riquelme played the last couple of minutes of the Cup midweek, started last weekend. So I think I've got that pattern kind of nailed out. And then my Espinosa, Harry, he never came back midweek from his head knock on day 10 or day 11.
No way. Fuck.
No. So I've got an RDNP on him. But this game's a big one. They're playing Millonarios or whatever they're called. So this is the game they wanted him back for. And I'm 99% sure he's back. 91% sure he's confident he's back for it. And then Mandanda completes the set, keeps us kind of running. The next team I've got, I like just kind of having them on that big screen so you don't see it all at the once. But this is where I went double attacker. Captain Cunha, Edwards on to play against Chelsea on a Monday night. That just feels like an Edward decisive if ever I've heard one. McGinn in midfield against Man United. It feels like an 80-plus score if ever I've heard it. But Couto away to Real Madrid, not as buzzing about. Could be good, but, let's see. And Sorare at home to Celta Vigo. Could be a pretty good game. So this is going into Champ Euro Super Rare. And, if things go the way I think they could go for me, it's probably one of the weekends where I'm a little bit more confident that my entry might be worth something. I'm not just falling out of the prizes or just catching a wee one at the tail end. I might break into that top 8, that top 5 kind of position, because a lot of the matchups are really tough this week in Champion, as we've been discussing. And if I can get some individual joy for some of these guys, I'll be buzzing.
Ooh, Nico's in to start, so where Prem says. That's a big one. I have a couple of Nicos that I could use. Tough game, though.
It is.
Tough game for them.
Forest have... Who are they playing again?
Newcastle.
Of course. Very tough.
Home. Yeah, I don't know if I'm in love with that, but I will try and fit him in somewhere. I forgot, 220 is now just a competition again, isn't it? So, I kind of not forgot, but didn't really prioritize that too much. But I'm definitely going to do so this weekend.
Love it. I don't think Memphis starts because he started the cup game, so I think Morata will be fancied for the league away to Seville. Could start, don't get me wrong, but on that rotation kind of cycle, I don't think he starts this one. He was in contention for I went Champ Euro Pro this week, Harry, because there's some spare supers I've got and where my rare strength flies. So we've got Big All Black in goals. We've went with Christian Romero in defence at home to Brighton. Could be a big high scoring centre back performance. Double super rare mid with Goretzka and Llorente, both on to start in their respective matches. Both of them are away. And I know Seville are lowly in the table, but neither have an easy fixture, I would suggest. And then I went with Captain Fekir up top. So I'm hoping he kicks ass and takes some names in attack for me. So I'm not holding my breath on this team, but I'm definitely somewhat optimistic about it. So good to see that. Under 23, Harry, I want to get your take on this, right? Because I'm going with Pro again this week, okay? After I think I snagged a prize recently in Pro because I had a super rare or two that helped me out.
Yeah.
But so I'm going with Trubin and goals on his big 12%. I've got Frimpong and Wirtz obviously playing Bayern, so not that great, but they could score good, obviously. Illich should be in to start, and he's a wee bit... Play Sharper says he's nailed, and some other things I look at are maybe saying he's not quite that nailed, but I think he probably makes the game. And Baron Ashea is a coin toss, and my other super rare forward, the guy I won, Satriano, he's also a coin toss.
Yeah.
So I went with Baron Ashea just because I think he probably starts. My hunch, not anyone else's. But thoughts on this?
I mean, it's not a bad team. I don't look at it and go, wow, this is going to walk everything, But like you said, there's definitely scope for those players to pop off. I mean, the super rares is what, you need to worry about in the sense, can they go and get 25 AA or 2 decisives or that's where this really, works out for you. You need those supers to really pop, I think, to even think about getting into any sort of, half decent prize pool. So, but I'm with it. I think it can definitely work 100%.
I think if I hit that, there we go. There we go. I've kind of ruined it. You kind of seen some of their teams, but anyway, I'm going with 220 super rare because I noticed it was a competition again this week, and I've put in all my question mark players, all the ones where I'm like, I don't know if he's going to start. He probably comes off the bench, etc., etc. So Brais Mendes has been playing like a horse. He might actually still start this game, but if he did rotate, I would not be one bit surprised. So I can't really put him anywhere strong. you can captain a wee 220 lineup with definitely super sub Stuani, who's away to Real Madrid, and Satara, who I just mentioned a moment ago, might start, might not, but he's playing Clermont foot. So I kind of want him in a team because even from the bench, maybe Clermont are quite crap. But the rare I've got in this is my big boy, Maxime Chenot, who kicks about with a 19.5% multiplier. So this will be...
Jesus.
this could be a good one for me. There's only tier 3s at the top, but that's where it kind of needs to go. So if Braze does start, if I do get goals from the bench, I'm hoping my goalkeeper, my defender can kind of prop the team up, as it were. And then maybe my last team that's like kind of full of punch. I've got Andy Robertson in my 240 team, which gives me a bit of budget to get Tanaka and Bernardo Silva and Savio into 240. So Savio's got Real Madrid, so I don't really feel that comfortable putting them in anything amazing. But there's a stars, a couple of supers, a couple of maybe we cards with this team. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. High XP across the board and some good guys and some good games. And then 220, rare. I've got Captain Memphis. I've got Moutinho downgraded into this team. Zakarian, or Zakarian, whatever we want to call him. He should start for Sociedad and Angelino against Inter. He played 60 minutes on Angelino of his debut and he got like 28 AA and then get subbed off just with a bit of cramp. So if he can have a similar game, he could be okay. And then Angus Gunn and goals. So I've got 7 teams there, Harry.
Okay.
I think
what are you thinking?
240, but I think both my 240s can catch. I think, you know, that should probably happen. And then I'm having fun with Champion Euro, really. Super Rare and Pro, or whatever we're calling it, Plus. That's my fun. And under 23, and I'm not in the 220s. Like, not really. Yeah, if something happens, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I like that a lot. How are we? 20 minutes. We got time. We've got a bit of time.
Training teams are all set to go and sorted as well. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Locked and loaded. I'll let you take the screen, Harry, since you're still working away. Give us something to watch.
How do we feel about Bart this weekend? Do we think he's kept his place?
Mate, Tottenham are scoring 3 goals this weekend.
Oh, I know, yeah. It doesn't really matter, but I just mean, can I just play him in a lineup? Will he start the game? It's kind of...
We'll check Play Sharper, see what it's giving it.
It'll be it's a 50-50, unfortunately. But...
Well, you never know. There might be a wee press conference by now. Maybe a wee update.
De Zerbi, we know how he rolls.
Liam King won a division as well, so he'll be picking up a star rare and a tier 3 SR tonight. So looking forward to seeing how you get on with that, mate. GG's, well done.
Yeah,
Glenn Hoddle says Bart will start.
Bart will start. Okay. Big Bart starts. All right, let's go into 270 then. Why not? Let's go 270.
So here's Tottenham Brighton for anyone who wants to see it. Sar, Basuma, Madison in midfield. Kulusevski, Richarlison, Son. Could be the way. Matoma, 50% to start. Doubt it, to be honest, but maybe. Verbruggen, it is 50-50 still. But yeah. I'm not so sure Werner gets dropped right out of this team, to be honest.
You don't think?
Nah, I just from what I know of Ange, and like if he likes somebody, he plays them relentlessly. He doesn't care. He's not emotional. Like, I was thinking about this for also I cover Tottenham a little bit on the channel now as well. But in like an effort to predict the Tottenham, like in terms of Richarlison and all this kind of stuff, I was kind of taken back to Giakoumakis. So I'll show you this, any Tottenham fans, just for a bit of a blether where we're at this stage of the game week. Where is my... Oh, there we go. Share this tab. That's what I need to do. And then Celtic. So this is Giakoumakis' Celtic career, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you look at everything, it did not matter what this guy did. Kyogo played. So off the bench all the time, gets a start, scores, then is back on the bench, can't get a place in the team, is out for a bit, comes back, scores, gets a bit of a place in the team. I think Kyogo was injured at this point or something. Gets all the way to scoring a hat-trick against Dundee. Doesn't do too well against Bodo. He's out the team here, comes back in, hat-trick and assist, gets a goal. So look at that. 3 starts, 4 goals and an assist, and then dropped. Yeah. Gets his goal off the bench, back in the team, scores, dropped. 2 goals off the bench, still dropped, goal off the bench, still dropped, goal off the bench, still dropped. Gets in against Real Madrid because I think it was a bit of a token thing as well to get him a bit of belief and whatever. But look at this, doesn't start, starts and scores, doesn't start, starts and scores for 3 games, gets dropped, You know, so like Ange doesn't care if you're scoring or not. Like if you're not the guy, you're not the guy. It's kind of a little bit of the lesson there. So I've been really impressed with Richarlison in the last two games. I think he's maybe earned his place, but I really would be surprised if Richarlison get dropped. It's kind of what the thought I had thinking about Giakoumakis and that stuff I just showed you. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Richarlison get dropped. And I know that might sound crazy, but he's done it with Giakoumakis. Scores a hat-trick, gets dropped. Like it's not,
out of the realm, is it?
Not out of the realm. I don't think it's I don't think it's likely. But I'm just telling you now, like, don't be surprised if it did happen. He's done it before. So yeah, everyone's saying no chance. But hey, like I know Richarlison's kicked on, so I do think it's very slim at this point. I think Richarlison of a month ago probably gets dropped for Son in attacking in the centre attacking spot, but maybe not. But yeah, and I do think like when we seen Werner and Brennan start, Harry, me and you kind of called that on the stream, and it wasn't predicted at all. That's the way he wants those strikers to go, is that kind of front foot run, get to the box, counter, and let Son on the left, Werner on the right, or maybe vice versa, or a few that. Kulusevski's been great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything against him, but I just wouldn't be surprised if you guys are surprised.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. There's definitely something. Yeah, there's definitely something's going to pop up when we're like, I don't know if it's this week. I can't see Richarlison not playing. Kulu's the one I think that has a chance of being shifted somewhere if he doesn't start like really like kicking on. He still offers a lot. Like I'm not saying that has to contribute every game, and he did so a lot when Maddison was out as far as goals and assists. But like he does a lot of running, like he covers a lot of ground. I'm not going to dispute that ever. But I don't know. I just think I think they might want a bit more from him. Impact wise, just like in games, like he's like scared to shoot a lot of the time. And I'm a big Kulu. Like I like how Kulu plays football. He glides, like he is really nice on the eye, but like I just don't know how impactful it is a lot of the time. And maybe there's a shelf life on everything in there. And I know they've just bought him. I'm not saying they're gonna like just bomb him out, but I don't know. I just got my doubts sometimes with him.
Yeah. So yeah, Ange is unpredictable until you get to know who his favourites are. See, when you know who he really favourites, then you'll know. Like, because Hatate, Kyogo, Maeda, it didn't matter if Giakoumakis got a hat-trick. And we've got a comment here saying Giakoumakis wasn't really the pressing type. And I do think that's the bridge that Richarlison's crossed over the last 2 or 3 games, where he has added tons to his game. Like, if you look at his touch map for the last game, like, he was playing like a defensive midfielder, it would look like, he was getting right deep and getting involved and then pressing and really worked his socks off. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he might have saved himself with his development over the last 2 or 3 games, but like maybe the manager isn't, maybe isn't totally sold, or maybe I'm just giving Richarlison more credit than the manager does, or something. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to be surprised if I thought I'm kind of surprised by the lineup. Let's put it like that. Probably the easiest way for me not to offend anyone.
yeah, that makes sense. I definitely get that.
Yeah. But yeah, 15 minutes to the deadline. Ange said he's ready. Zico, who's that? We're talking about Basuma. Yeah. I think Basuma's one of his favourites. I think Maddison, of course, Udogie. The back four, you know who his favourites are. You know who he's playing if they're fit. Guys, we've smashed the first league goal, so thanks very much. Can we get to 88? We're at 75. I'm sure we can do it. If we do get to 88, it does mean we get those nice Opta adjustments in our favour if we are just behind threshold. So let's do that for one more, for good old time's sake, Let's get up to 88 and make sure we get those favourable Opta adjustments locked in for when the game week closes.
Definitely. I'm just a few last lineups out, and then we're going to be locked in.
He has kicked on in a big way. Oakham's, I'm with you. Okay, I think we're at that kind of point of the stream, Harry boy. So, how are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Give me 3 minutes, Quinny. Sorry, just because I'm getting my lineups like properly in.
Maybe I did that on purpose. Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe I did that on purpose just to
I'm nearly done. Genuinely, I am nearly done. Maybe you did. Maybe you tried to sabotage me.
Show us your screen. We want to see the frenzy. Show us your screen.
All right, wait. Let me just literally put this one in, then I can. I will definitely show you my screen, because otherwise, if I click off it, it's not going to.
I'll put this on screen for a second.
I've inputted most of the teams, to be fair. But
shout out for Petroli. I thought this guy was ancient. It turns out he's 25. I thought he was like 45. The way people talk about him. But yeah, check him out.
Just doing my limited lineups for the Road to Glory. So that's going to be Luka Zidane. We've got Austria back this weekend, which I kind of think we just didn't really talk about, did we? Kind of?
No, I don't. Is it the return of Austria?
Yeah, it is.
We missed that.
I feel like that did get missed, which is fine. But yeah, Austria's back. So I won a tier 3 a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm able to play him, which I'm obviously quite happy about for the Road to Glory. Sorry. So yeah, that's all fun and games. And then we're getting into some budget under 23 action. But yeah, I'm almost done. I just need to do my academy after this, and then I'll be. Have you done your academy?
I've done it all, buddy. Done it all.
Nice.
Done it all. Got myself sorted.
Nice.
I listened to the deadline, not the deadline show, of course, the preview show on Sorare Data this morning with you and Laird, and I just kind of finessed everything. And then when we came on the show, I just kind of rattled out those academies as quick as I could.
Yeah.
But no, I'm buzzing for it. I'm kind of excited for Edward. I'm hoping I get a wee Edward goal Monday night.
Who did Palace play, sorry?
Chelsea at home, Selhurst Park.
Yeah. Okay, lads, I think I'm in a better position. 13 teams going out. And then,
nice.
Yeah, that's including obviously limited. Do I have a 220? Don't have a keeper, but let's just throw in some boys, because why not?
Go and win some cards.
Yeah, we'll go do something. We'll go spoil a party somewhere. Let's get Nico in there. I feel bad. I'm leaving out like Enzo this weekend, who's just scored an incredible goal from the free kick position this midweek. Sorry, did you see his goal?
I didn't, buddy.
Wow.
I was just going to say, got a question here, Harry. Luton Stack, do we put it in 240 or Prem?
It depends how much you value 240, I would say. I know that's maybe quite vague, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, if it was in the last week of the 240 as we know it, then I probably would say just go out in Prem and just risk it. But like, I don't know.
15,000 entrants.
What for 240?
240 rare, yeah.
Is it? Jesus Christ. That's wild.
That's a tough one, bud. Whose goal, sorry, was it? Scored a good goal midweek?
Enzo scored a free kick against
Enzo.
Villa. Yeah, he scored a wicked free kick.
I didn't see it. I seen some pundits in England but were slating Caicedo and Enzo for the transfer fees, like saying that they're both just like tidy midfielders. They're not like battle hardened like engines that you think they are, kind of thing. I was thinking this guy doesn't know. I can't remember who it was, but I was like, you've not got a clue. Enzo's the real deal. It's just that Chelsea team's fucking terrible.
This shit. Like, you've got like Cole Palmer's literally the only reason that team's basically doing much right now. Or not much, but he's literally, and I think Nkunku will do that, but like we obviously haven't really seen it too much yet. But without Cole Palmer right now, that team would be like, Jesus, I don't even want to think where they'd be.
Yeah, they'd definitely be way worse off. He showed up in the big games early on after his move. So yeah, Roy under pressure, Palace, like they're good for a wee banana skin at home. So let's hope Edward's in amongst it. That'd be good fun.
It's like the Quinny. I know you don't want to probably speak about it, but it's the Quinny of last week, isn't it? I know Quinny is obviously a lot better than Edward, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyone could score against Chelsea. Is basically what I'm getting at.
It's a lesson I've learned.
Yeah, it was a tough. I mean, did it even matter in the end? I know that doesn't matter, but
I think my defence kind of screwed me overall. So I don't think I was. Maybe I just about had a winning team, but I can't remember how I would have had to stuck them together.
Got you.
So maybe a wee bit of a stretch on would have I actually done it or not. One of those ones.
Yeah, I get it. I get that. Just my last team, and then we can get into some chatting.
Laird's asking what he ruined. I'm not too sure what he's referring to. Unless it's something in the chat I missed, perhaps.
What did I ruin? Is that what we're saying? Or
that's what Laird's saying. What did he ruin? What did Laird ruin?
Oh, what did Laird ruin? No, I don't know. Laird didn't ruin anything, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe
chat banter. So we're locked and loaded. 8 minutes to the deadline. Harry Boy's got his 13 teams plus his academy all rocking and rolling. Mines are all set to go. And we hope all you guys are locked and loaded for this game week as well. But yeah, I was just saying to you, Harry, as a kind of final four, you know, I think a lot of people are here for some chatter and what we're thinking about strategies and the game and all that kind of stuff. I'll just kind of say first and foremost, because I've not been on anything, like, I put a little tweet out. I'm also really sad about the whole All-Star kind of element of this, and I'm not too sure, you know, what, you know, when, you know, it's like, we've seen announcements before, and there's kind of then, like, maybe they put some stuff out to get some reaction, and maybe they slightly kind of change position or whatever. And I don't know, like the under 23 thing staying, I'm sure you and I've seen a lot of people really excited about that. But for me, like, and I know Dan addressed this when they did their YouTube video. If anyone hasn't caught it on the official Sorare channel, feel free to go and check it out. But like, Sorare is like global fantasy football, you know, ultimately. And I know they've still got that kind of element a little bit with these new like leagues that we've got, the new competitions before we get into the divisions. But I just can't get away from the fact of like, there should be somewhere where you can play anything you want. Like that is a part of this game. Like I think it's a big part of what makes Sorare. It doesn't need to be All-Star Rare Pro like it used to be, and it's the best division with the biggest payout on money and the best RNG potential on cards and all the rest of it. But there should be somewhere like in this game where you can play anything you want. And maybe the prizes aren't that great. Maybe it's only open certain conditions. But that was the first thing when I read through it all after listening to the stream that you guys were doing that I sadly wasn't able to hang on to. And I put a little tweet out about it. And I got some responses, Sorry. I don't know. I wasn't really planning on this, I suppose. But like, we can kind of chat about it. But a lot of the responses I got were like, I got stuff like, why are you bothered? Like, your gallery's fine. And I got other ones saying, like, what is it? See, most of the stuff that like it doesn't really bother me.
That Quinny, that is the problem with fucking people in general. Can I just have a little rant at? Like, they're thinking, why isn't Quinny being selfish and thinking about his fucking self? Basically, there, like, why isn't Quinny acting like me? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why are you not butthurt, Quinny? You should be butthurt. It's basically, you know, because it's, you know, because your gallery hasn't been like fucked or whatever. It's just like, that's not the point. You've just made a point as like a general player that's thinking about everyone, you know, like, sorry for fucking, you know, being, you know, sympathetic or whatever. It's just like, I mean, it's a big change not having All-Star. I think they did mention in the, you know, in the things that like they could become special weeklies. And I think a lot of that is undecided. And I know we don't have anything concrete to hold on to right now in the sense of like, you know, there is going to be a alternative to All-Star, right? We don't right now, but it really felt like that they're going to have a big sort of go at these special weeklies and these, you know, because they basically said that, you know, the cap modes and all that is going to come back in the form of special weeklies. But the issue with that is because it's not tangible, because we can't like see it on the screen in the sense of like it's definite. People just can't, you know, it's hard to get like on board with. And I get that. I'm not saying that the way they've done it is the, you know, the most correct way in the world, but Ian's got it right there. People are just idiots for the most part, aren't they? Like, people are just going to be selfish because you play this game on your own in that sense, but ultimately, you know, it's the community and there's a lot that goes, you know, with that. And I just think, you know, it is a weird situation, I think, on the whole, to remove an All-Star competition because there's nowhere where you can play a card from every, you know, region or whatever we're going to call it, every corner of the, you know, the footballing world anymore. And is that something people crave? Obviously, yes. Like you know, you're saying that, you know, there is definitely merit to that. But then I think the opposite of that is, you know, is that Sorare's new target audience? Is it people coming into this game wanting to play 5 cards from 5 different leagues? I think the evidence shows it's probably not, is it? And that's like the horrible thing that we need to like swallow, isn't it? In the sense that like that isn't where they want to take this game. And it's horrible to look at because this game has been built on you can win anyone with anything, or, you know, you scout all these under 23s. And I think
a little bit of that as well is it doesn't matter where they go, you can still play them. That's a little bit of it as well. And it kind of isn't anymore because
but it does, doesn't it?
If you're a smaller player, like, and I'm not a smaller player, right? But if you're a smaller player and like you've got a Brighton collection, and let's say Brighton sent 3 guys out on loan to USG, like, You know, without you going and buying a full like challengers goalkeeper and whatever supplementary pieces you'll need, those guys are useless to you all of a sudden. Yeah, they'll help you with collection bonus or whatever, fine. But like, you know, I know part of the motivation to it is like you want players to move up in their career, and that's a benefit. It's like, oh wow, my contender's now a challenger, or my contender's now a champion. And that's brilliant. And I get that needs to be put into the game somehow. And I kind of like how that does allow that to happen. But I feel the reverse is now an absolute punishment. And it really shouldn't be either. You know, if you've got a guy that you've maybe believed in, or you've got a guy because he's cheap and he's coming off the bench every once in a while, and if he leaves the Prem and goes to Belgium or goes to America or something like that, you shouldn't be totally useless to you. It should just be, well, do you know what? I can just take this team now and use him when he's in America, and I'll play it in this little competition. And yeah, maybe the prizes aren't as good, but I can still use all my cards, you know, like that's kind of part of the, you know, I just feel like you should always be able to use all your cards or buy cards and have, you know, it doesn't matter what happens to them. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. There's still a division you can play him in, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Cards and yeah, I know it's tough, isn't it? Because, you know, Sorare being clever, they're a business, Quinny, you know, we know there's obviously, they're not ill intentions, they're just intentions for us to want to spend more. Like that's unfortunately the nature of a business, isn't it? Like we've got to be brutally honest with it sometimes. And like what you're saying, yeah, okay, you know, you've got these Brighton boys and they fit in champion, but then 3 of them move to challenger and you're goalieless. Well, you know, Quinny, no one's stopping you from not buying a goalie. You know, like that is the brutal reality of it. I sympathize with you because I'm in your boat. Like if I don't want to do it, obviously I don't have to, but those cards then become, you know, almost obsolete, even though it helps with collection bonus. It's so intertwined. It's really hard, isn't it, to kind of, yeah, really, like there's no right or wrong answer. Like it's just, I said to you earlier, it's just a ball ache. Like, let's just be honest with it. Like it is just a ball ache in a lot of ways. It means our galleries now are half over here. And like, you're quite lucky in some ways because most of your cards are Celtic cards. So they'll all be in the same competition, right? But like, for people like for me, an under 23 guy, let's look at it from a selfish point of view, and other people, you know, all-star players in general, they've got cards from all around the world. Now that is a ball ache because they're in every other competition now, and it's just like, where do I concentrate my energy? Do I go to challenger? Do I go to champ? Do I go to contender? Because you've got 3 in every one. So where am I picking? Like, there's a lot of headaches to be had, and that's what. That is the hardest thing for me. It's just there's so many headaches that are going to be had now from managers from now up until August. I know it's a long time in theory, but like there's just a lot of rejigging to be done. Like I say nobody. There's obviously people, you know, that just have one competition's worth of players, and you know they might be quite happy with this. Like Premier League managers, if they just play the Prem and then this update comes out, they're fucking laughing, to be honest, aren't they? Because they don't really need to do much other than maybe buy some new cards for the Prem and continue that way if that's all they want to do. But for us that are like lovers of every corner of football in the world, we have been punished for that, I think, in a way. That's kind of what you're getting at, aren't we? Like, we are being punished for playing this game for a long time and having cards from all around, you know, the world. And now they're kind of just like in so many different places, like competition-wise, where you can play them, utility-wise, it just feels like I'm just a bit like, I don't know where to start now. Like, until Sorare Data come out with like the filters, I don't even want to fucking look at it right now. I'm just happy just to like wing it. You know, we've got this weekend, we've got midweek, and then it's just to go from there. And it's just, you know, until March, just go from there and go, okay, what have I got to deal with? I've got 3 supers there. I've got 1 unique here. He might need to go. And it's going to be a lot of ball aches. Like it just is for everyone.
Yeah, this will be the first thing I do after this show, and you know, that's the number one thing that was the overriding thing I left reading that about, and I had a few others that, you know, I've had a wee, you know, I've been on the phone with so many people over the last couple of days. I said to you yesterday, Harry, like I couldn't be turning the camera on. I just was drained, and you know, maybe, you know, we'll see. I'll probably have a proper synopsis of everything next week after I've had a few more chats and whatever, because there's a few other things that like I'll need to be going into in a bit more detail that around the whole makeup of everything. Because yeah, for me, like I think it's quite game changing. Like a lot of this for, you know, for like, I was saying this to you before we came on. I've got no doubt that there's going to be way more money like available to legacy players, if that makes sense. Like, and again, some of the responses I had to my tweet was like, why do you care? Like, your gallery's kind of okay and whatever. And some people think my gallery's shafted. You were saying that too. The Celtic cards are obviously taking a huge value depreciation. I think maybe, let's see, who knows, who cares really. But like, outside of that, most of my guys are kind of compartmentalized well enough that they kind of, really, it doesn't bother me too much in that respect. But it's more the wider game, what this thing is meant to be, and why. Like, as much as I'm probably the extreme customer, I'm the 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 type person. I do think anyone that plays this will have, it's that Football Manager vibe. It's that FIFA Ultimate Team vibe where you've found a guy, you want to keep him around for a couple of seasons. You want to, like I was saying to you before we came on, you might be the Brighton fan, the Liverpool fan. You might be a mainstream team supporter, let's say. And maybe they've got a wee guy in the academy you're buzzing about. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm really excited for, I don't know, make up a name. But do you know what? He didn't get any cards this year because your team put him out on loan to Austria Vienna. But guess what? He's got an Austria Vienna card, so you can go buy that. Oh, great, cool, go buy that. Oh, do you know what? Well, if you do have a Liverpool team, there's no point in having that guy until he returns and if he gets into the team. Or if he goes out on loan to Championship next year, if he does something, there's no point. So, like, I just think there's always a thread of, even though I'm the extreme case, I do think there's always little threads of where I'm on the deep end of the scale on a lot of things, that even the casual player, that's the little thread of what they grab onto in their own little way. Like, oh, I know this guy used to play for a team, or, whatever it is. And I think when, like, the main thing we've always spoke about throughout changes is we don't want less utility. And I don't think this necessarily is less utility on the surface of it. We can maybe talk about that in the video and whatever else further down the road, because there is definitely a topic there, I suppose, also. But I think it's more a case of like, it's just something that should be in a part of the game where you could just play anything you want. Like I say, I think the main problem they're trying to overcome is like all the guys that were like out of sync value wise, like the Wanizek problem and this other thing. But it's just the prizes that are in the division that cause that. That's all it is. It's not anything above that. Like, if you aren't winning the best cards in that division, then those guys aren't as cheat code all of a sudden. But if you're winning the best tier 2s with them, then that has a value, that has a ceiling, So I do think that they're trying to fix the problem by maybe cutting the arm off rather than putting some stitches on it. Is maybe kind of how I feel about the whole all-star element of it. I get the problem that needs fixed, and I get everything that the improvements that come with this change, but I do feel there's a little cost of losing something that makes Sorare, really, more than anything,
Yeah, I just look back on, like, over the years, I remember, like, when I've watched, some of your videos, and just beginners videos in general, the selling point a lot of the time is like, you can have 2 guys from the J League if you really want, and you can have 1 guy from the Championship, and you can have a Premier League guy as well, and and that can all come together and win you X. And it's just like, I know we can still do that in drips and drabs, like the J League will be with Celtic cards and whatever. Like, we still have it, but we just don't, do we? We don't have it to the fullest degree. And I think what the biggest point you made there was, it's the prizes that dictate this. That's why it's been so lopsided. That's why people won't buy a Bellingham, because they can buy a Wanizek. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm going to spend 100 quid on Wanizek, or I'm going to spend 2 grand on a Bellingham. It's a no-brainer. And that's, unfortunately, it's been like a catch-22 for Sorare for a long time, that problem, hasn't it? Because, if that's the case, then, the whole global scouting or whatever becomes not obsolete, but it just becomes quite limited now. And you're like what you're saying, maybe it is just a prize thing. Have an all-star, but just the prizes is just a bit meh, like, compared to what they used to be. And that's fine, because we still can throw our cards in there and still cheer for a team that's, still at the core, while I'd hoped, of what Sorare kind of was built on. And that just feels like it's just been completely, like you said, it's just chopped off. Like, it's like, it's an ex-girlfriend you literally don't even want to associate with ever again, that, like, didn't even maybe exist in a lot of eyes. So I don't know. There's so many elements to it, and it's sad to see in some ways, but it's like, what can you do? A lot of the time.
Special weeklies have been held out as the kind of the antidote to this, and maybe they are. Right. Like, and like I say, we've been told a fraction of it.
Not much. That's the thing. We've not been told fuck all to hold on to. That's my problem. Like, they might be great, and like, it looks like, I don't think people are, like, we're not having midweeks really. Like, we are, but in like the form of special weeklies. Like, yeah, like the whole thing is just flipped on its head. And I think someone said it in the chat. I just want to scroll up a little bit. I don't know if we put it on the screen, Quinny. It was And by the way, I think the whole roadmap was clumsy written, and those special weeklies are much more than what they said. Torador maybe said that 3 or 4.
Got it,
so yeah, not so much the clumsy part, whatever. That's your opinion, but it's just more the whole special weeklies. I think they just have thrown that out there to us and just said, okay, look, we're still going to do them, but I don't think they even know what they're going to do for the special weeklies. I know they, said we're going to bring cat modes back, we're going to do this, but like what you're saying, it might just bring Global All-Star back every midweek. Just do that, because the fixture congestion is so lopsided, and for the challengers and the contenders, you need 10 teams playing and all this malarkey. Every midweek, just have a fucking Global All-Star. Why not? There's obviously doubt. I'm not thinking about it rigorously right now, but I can't see many downsides to that, really. Just let anyone play anything in the midweek. Just give us that, and then weekends, we're segregated. Fucking, we get it. But do you get what I'm saying? I don't know what the downsides maybe of that would be. There obviously is some, because otherwise they would have done it.
Yeah, for sure. I say there's a few more wrinkles and creases we could probably dive into in a bit more detail. But I know a lot of people have been asking me, and I've not made a video and stuff like that, so I thought I would share at least just my main kind of feeling. I say I've got ultimate confidence that even the cards of mine that have maybe taken a hit, but there should be amongst the best cards in their little section. So really, how bad of a situation is it for me? It's probably not that. So like I say, I don't really think there's anything I'm upset about. It's really that much. The number one thing I should be upset about, I said this to you, Harry, and I'll have a wee bitch about it before we close the show out, but the number one thing I should be upset about is how badly fucked my McGregor's been by all this. It's went from being a D2 kind of stud, maybe could elevate me into D1, and now with this new situation, it's just a fancy super rare that's now not worth what a unique McGregor was worth, because it's now segregated into contender rather than an all-star environment or a D2 environment even. So that's it was a day late. It was the next morning when I was kind of looking at my gallery, and I deleted my teams and stuff, and I was just thinking roster prices. I wonder what's happened to some values, and I kind of looked at my McGregor for a minute, and I thought, that's been fucked. That card has just been screwed. I'm not even not losing any sleep over it or anything, let's say. So it's one of those ones. I think everyone's got a win and a loss in here somewhere. But I think ultimately for me, there's definitely a few things here that I don't think enough people are giving consideration to, or enough people are thinking or talking about. And I have been abreast of everything. And I don't know. It's sad for me to hear some things where it's I don't think you're thinking about the wee fan that just starts his account in May, or the wee guy that opens the account, or the new guy that maybe has tons of money that starts in August, or because whenever I read this stuff, whenever we're talking about this, I'm always transported back to my car, buying my first card, and what I was thinking and what I was feeling, and how these things might have made me think or feel differently. It's the best I can do. I haven't played the game for 4 years, Yeah. And I just think, no, I would think I'm smarter than everyone. And I'd think, I'll get this wee guy from here, and I'll get this wee guy from over there. And I'd want to put a wee team together. And if you then quickly see, those two guys play in that division and that guy plays in that. And, I don't know. I can only put myself in my own shoes. Is kind of what I'm getting at ultimately.
I know. I just always go back to the whole, they're designing this game now to try and go. I know we could laugh at this, but they want to go obviously mainstream, right? They need these big leagues, the big licenses, the big teams, big names to all be at the core of the product. And as much as that goes against the kind of the indie way to play this game, and the way that you came in as, the whole global scouting and stuff, it just feels like they're not, I don't know if it's a U-turn, but they're definitely going down a path which is just a lot more mainstream, relatable, for just the average football fan that would maybe be interested in this. It kind of goes against the Football Manager-y type, doesn't it, really? Because I think they would like the whole scouting from everywhere, player from everywhere type of situation on the whole. And yeah, it's going down the path of, let's target the Bundesliga people, let's target the Liga guys, let's target the Prem guys, people who are interested in those leagues. And the way the competitions are now set up are easier to understand, I think, from a brand new player's perspective. But it's to our detriment. We've kind of been a little bit fucked by it in loads of different ways. Not everyone, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's now simple for everyone. realistically, the term simple is a bit loose, but like, you know what I mean? Like if I tell my friend, you can just buy Premier, like whoever you want to buy in the Prem, you can play them in that competition, you know? I'm not saying you couldn't do that before, but now it just feels a bit more obvious, you know, the things, I don't know, I think it's just so much easier, or should be on paper, a lot easier to explain this now, maybe to the, like a brand new person that might be interested. I hope. That's obviously my hope, and I'm here to be wrong, definitely.
That's probably the one thing I did disagree about in terms of the announcement, when they're like, it's more intuitive for football fans. Like you see the top 5 leagues at the top, fine. But then from there, I don't think any of it makes sense to a football fan, because you do recognise football as UEFA and CONCACAF. And, you know, that's how football fans recognise football. They don't recognise River Plate and Celtic being in the same category, and MLS and Belgium being in the same category. You know, football fans, the normie football fan don't see that. You know, they see UEFA, they see River, Boca, Corinthians, whatever, and then Messi or whatever's going on. So I don't know. That was one thing I thought. That's more. And you know me, Harry, but that format that we've got now, that's more Super League. That's more World Super League vibes than what football fans know. You know, and I think there's merit to Super League aspects of maybe some revolutions in football, maybe a discussion for another day. So like I say, I can get behind the structure. I get it. Like, oh yeah, these divisions are ranked better than them, and that's kind of fun and that's kind of cool. And you can win Wonder Kids from Argentina with Scottish cards or whatever it is you're getting up to. Yeah. I can get the structure. I can get behind it on the global football aspect of it, as long as there's a little thin corridor where it's just like, hey, doesn't matter how cheap your cards are. It doesn't matter what season they're in. It doesn't matter what league they're in. If you've got 5 of them, if you've managed to afford a team somehow, there's a wee division for you. Knock yourself out. There might not be that great stuff in it. Maybe you get lucky. Knock yourself out, have fun. And while you're doing that, all the other stuff that I'm sure everyone thinks in an ideal scenario players are going to do, you have the time and the freedom to do, because it's not like buy 4 new season cards or buy 5 cards or 12 cards from the one little section of the pool, as it were.
I get that, mate.
But yeah, I feel I'm kind of running in circles a little bit. I'll do a proper video and it'll be a bit more concise and everything. But I thought I would share my main kind of thought that I've already put out on Twitter and get a wee bit of back and forth for you, Harry boy, on it.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to address that Agent Cooper who's asked you about your McGregor. It's more the fact that it's a unique Cooper, in the sense that like Quinny doesn't have any of the uniques to play with it, meaning that it can't go in the unique category in Contender. He's not saying it won't be a good card as like a player. It's more the uniqueness of the card. If it was a super rare, then it'd be fine, because it would just slot into the super rare Contenders, you know, team that Quinny has, and it'd be fine. But now that unique, obviously,
needs 5 contender uniques. He needs 5 contender
uniques, or he plays it in the super rare. But then you might as well just have a super rare McGregor, not a unique. You know, that's the issue. Basically, is kind of what I just want to address that before we finish. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that was good.
But yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots of thoughts and feelings and mixed emotions between now and the next deadline show. But thanks to everyone that's got here with 85 likes. Before you clock off, we need 3 more of you. Come on, we need 3 more of you. Wait, let's get there. Like Ben's kind of summing it up here. That's kind of where I'm at with it. You need a little fin where it's just whatever you can afford. What is your knowledge? Who do you know? You shouldn't be restricted to, well, you don't know about this and your budget's that or whatever, So yeah, I'm with you, Ben. Have a great weekend. Good luck to everyone in the final weekend of the old normal as we prepare for lots of new normals. Harry boy, good luck.
Yeah, all the best, mate, and everyone at home as well. I appreciate all the chat and stuff. It's been really constructive. And yeah, just wish you all the best this weekend. Hopefully you can smash the thresholds and just go out on a high, lads, isn't it? That's all we can really ask for.